9832. That's 800-871-9832. 800-871-9832.
Window coverings are the frosting on the cake. You need trusted experts to assure quality in design. You want dependable service, reliable warranties, and value pricing. You get all of that with the company Made in the Shade. Family owned and operated, all major brands, draperies, shades, high-tech options, even exterior rolling shutters. Serving South Metro Denver to Castle Rock. 720-458-6566. Or simply Google Made in the Shade.
Does your kitchen or bath or windows or doors need help? Well, way back in the 80s, my dad, Dan Cicchini, did the first radio ad for Dunright Kitchens, Baths, Windows, and Doors. He said, and I quote, "Started the company with a philosophy that was drilled into me by my dad when I was a kid, and that is, if you're gonna do it right or don't bother," unquote. Well, this is Todd Cicchini, and having grown up with that philosophy, it's now my responsibility to pass it on to the third generation of our family working at Dunright, and all the other folks that work here also. Quality, dependability, fair pricing, treat people like you want to be treated. A bathroom like a spa, a kitchen like the morning sunrise, windows and doors that make you proud, that's what we strive for.
Hi folks, this is Dan. Susan and I are very proud of our legacy, and if our Dunright family can help your family, call us. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, and even replacement windows and doors, you have our word, we'll treat you right at Dunright. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumline Services. With quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumline in my home.
He already did it. Beautiful.
To Fort Collins, service at home, servants at heart, 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com. Plumline and Carrier, turn to the experts. And now another insurance story from
Why is it raining inside? It's not raining. You are giving us your attendant that we are now up on YouTube.
He's already there. He's already commented and everything. Say that again. Louder for the people in the back.
Hold on. Get Mrs. right here. So I can tell her. You had the idea of moving the camera. Wait.
Yeah.
I had the idea of removing the computer as well. And now everything just
See, you're a genius too.
glorious.
I'm just happy you're back, so I don't have to answer the phones.
630 K-How.
Okay, I'm Tom Martino, and by the way, YouTube should be up right now. I'm getting it here, so sorry
Yes,
for the
we're
delay.
Very sorry about that, Tom.
Oh, it's not your fault,
No, it's
actually.
all Kelly's fault. Totally Kelly.
It was actually Dragon's brilliant move of
Oh.
suggesting that I should reboot the camera.
And it worked.
And no,
Oh.
I also rebooted the computer in the office. And then all of a sudden, everything
Then
is...
she patted her stomach.
What
and rubbed
about
her
my
head.
computer? What about the one in the home studio that it works off of by remote?
No.
That was good?
No, everything's fine on your end. Because
Okay,
we're in
good.
studio.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
we're good.
so when we're here in the studio, you don't go to that computer?
Correct.
Okay, sorry. I had my daughter. I woke her up to go down and fix that. She works late. Anyway, 303-713-8255. Quentin says he's got a problem here. Quentin, what's going on? Quentin?
Yes, Tom, how's it going?
What's going on with you, man?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go.
Yeah, I'm a family member of Sean Birch. He spoke with you guys
Sean
briefly
Birch.
a couple of weeks back.
And what was it about?
The wrongful conviction due to the corruption with the Denver Police Department. And
Well, we hear a lot about wrongful convictions, so I'm trying to find Sean's call. But why don't you just tell us what's going on? We don't have to know about We don't have to know about that right now. Let's just talk to you. What's going on? Are you the one that was wrongfully convicted?
It is not me. He's my family member.
Was Sean the one wrongfully convicted?
Correct.
Okay. And how was he? Tell me about it.
The jury found him not guilty, and he is still serving time behind it.
Found him not guilty, you said?
Correct.
If he's found not guilty, how does he serve time for that?
Because they done what is called double jeopardy.
Okay, explain that. I'm confused. So why don't you start at the beginning? Go ahead, sir.
At the beginning, we were in the court, and the verdict came out, and the first couple of verdicts was not guilty, and then the last verdict that came out was a guilty.
Okay, so there were multiple charges. How many charges?
He had a burglary with the intent to commit murder.
So how many charges total were leveled against him? He was tried on how many charges?
I think it might have been 4.
Okay.
Might have been 4.
Okay. And all but one. So they found him not guilty on 3 charges.
Correct.
Okay. And then which one was he found guilty on?
They found him guilty on a murder charge.
Okay. Well, that's the most important one, probably, right?
Correct.
Okay, now hold on. But now you said so, but he was found guilty on murder. Now, as a result, he was sentenced to what?
He got 98 plus life.
Life plus 98?
Yeah, life plus 98.
Wow. I guess he's not getting out anytime. So he was sentenced to life plus, and you feel, let me get this straight, you feel it was unjust, obviously. A lot of people do, and I don't mean to sound like, because there have been times juries get it wrong, very rarely, but tell me about the jury. You said double jeopardy. Where's the double jeopardy?
Well, what it was, Tom, was they said that he committed the burglary. They said that a door got kicked in and that a witness got chased out. And in the midst of the witness getting chased out, they're saying that he executed the witness.
Okay.
Well, the jury found him not guilty of the burglary.
All right.
Are you kind of getting?
But they did find him guilty of the murder. And did they find him not guilty of the burglary on a technicality? Are you saying how could he possibly have done the murder if he didn't do the burglary?
They had the murder inside of the burglary.
No, I get that. So you're saying if he didn't do the burglary, he didn't do the murder. But
correct.
But how? What was there any accomplice in this crime?
There was no accomplice. There was
when was this crime committed? When was this crime allegedly, or not allegedly? When was it committed?
I believe it's been probably 17 years ago.
Oh my God! I didn't. Okay, so you're calling about he's been in jail for 17 years.
Almost 17, 16.
Okay, and tell me something. Why are you? I'm just curious. Why are you calling now?
Well, what's continued to happen with all his appeal process and everything, they've continued to railroad him. And
wait, I think when he called. Wait a minute. I think I remember his call now, but keep going. So what? brings you to this point? Do you have any appeals? Have you appealed anything? It's
He was
go ahead.
he was granted a 35C hearing based upon merits he brought to the court.
What does
And the
that
court
mean?
Recently, he addressed issues with his case that he thought was wrong. The double jeopardy, the classification.
But
of
there,
an
I don't
expert
know what you're talking about when you say double jeopardy. This has nothing to do with double jeopardy. What when you say double jeopardy, that means he was charged twice for the same crime. And
Exactly,
tried.
and that's
Well,
what
he
happened.
wasn't. I mean, where's the double jeopardy?
The double jeopardy was that for one party you can only charge for one murder charge.
No,
And they put
that's
that-
actually not. No. You can have a burglary with. Look, I'm not going to give you a legal lesson. Here's what I'm going to say, and please trust me on this. It's the wrong argument. I mean, if your attorney's telling you can win on this, more power to him. But I mean, okay, there might be a conflict somewhere, but it's not double jeopardy.
Okay, well, there
Was he
a
tried? Wait.
exculpatory
Was he?
evidence
No,
that was
it depends. Hold on. It depends. Let me amend that. If he was charged with a burglary resulting in murder, I don't know what the formal charge is, and then was found not guilty, and then they recharged him with murder, and then he was tried again. Is that how it worked, or was he tried in one trial?
It was all tried in one trial.
Then I don't see how it becomes double jeopardy. Hold on a second, all right? Just hold on.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Woodley's Fine Furniture.
Well, good news is they got that dump truck.
I'm going to be anonymous. Well, then you're not going to help us in the long run. This will be much harder to
bad.
You think so?
Too bad.
I can only guess that whomever called prior using an anonymous name or
He's been
No,
in
no, no,
jail
no. It was the guy.
17. Could you
Remember
imagine?
the guy that called?
There was a guy who said I would look into his case if he sent me some stuff. And I remember that saying, it's not unheard of that you have a
He
guy
totally
falsely
talked to him.
accused, but that's not him, I don't think.
That was only a couple days ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was looking for it.
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in handcrafted Colorado-made furniture, custom upholstery, solid wood, and the most comfortable leather furniture imaginable. You will not find better built furniture in Colorado than at Woodley's. Visit woodleys.com today.
Get the best and cheapest water heaters you can from EuroplumbingColorado.net. Well, I mean cheap, I mean less expensive. Man, I'm going to tell you, nobody beats his price, and you're going to absolutely love it because you can get a brand new water heater fully installed, a 40-gallon, listen to this, for just $13.99. You want a 50-gallon? It's $14.99. No one does it better. You'll never get these prices. EuroplumbingColorado.net. Put them to the test. 303-668-6844. Why would you ever pay more? 303-668-6844. EuroplumbingColorado.net. Hey, let's talk about solar. You know how I feel about solar. I feel that most people in the business are clowns. That's right. That's why I only have a couple of people I recommend. Red Rocks Roof and Solar is one of those. They do a great job. Whether you want solar from the beginning, they'll do the sales, installation, they'll do the service. They'll help you with the credits, financing if you want it. If you have a commercial business, they help you with the grants to get it paid 100%. Yes, 100% with a REAP grant if you qualify. Why don't you give them a call? Red Rocks Roof and Solar, a company you can trust in the solar business. 303-704-2449, 704-2449, redrocksrs.com.
Facing a job loss? Considering a pension buyout, a severance package, or what to
I
do
got
with
a-
your 401k? Hi, I'm Linda.
I got a weird real estate thing here I'm going to talk about, but I'm not going to give you a preview.
604. That's 720-488.
No hints.
Really weird one.
How you doing? Doing good?
Yeah. How about you?
Good.
Good.
Any problems with the changes?
What you? Oh, that's
No.
they're all the same, really. I mean, isn't that
It's
exaggerated?
no.
It's been pretty much the same to me.
It gives us an opportunity to communicate with the other side, the other agents.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a positive for us.
I haven't ran into one seller that's not willing to offer some kind of compensation.
I think
No, not yet.
I think it's getting so
It's just that it
incredibly
has to
blown
be
up in the
disclosed
media.
now. That's
it
all.
It always was.
But not like it was assumed that it was built into the seller's end. It was just assumed, though, wasn't it? Really? Wasn't it
But
really?
I mean,
It was kind of assumed. Like it
It
was
was-
all in the contract. The seller does pay it, but it was assumed. It was automatically on the seller side of the contract, right?
well, it was written in the contract.
But it was
though.
transparent.
That's what I
though,
mean.
Tom.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not
it
saying it
always
wasn't
was,
transparent, but it was
yeah.
assumed.
Yeah.
That's the way it's done. It's built in. And now they're saying, no, it doesn't have to be built in. You can have that person come with their own commission, right?
That's right. That's right.
That was always the case.
But I think the problem. That they
Yeah, it
got-
was, but it was out of the norm. Now it starts out neutral. It starts out no commissions, right?
I think the problem with St. Louis is their contracts weren't as transparent as ours, so I think that's where the confusion started.
Yeah,
Ours were just
Colorado's
broken
been
down
ahead
very
of the
spe-
game.
yeah, ours
I
have been
feel,
way ahead.
forever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're right, though. In reality,
No, we have to communicate with one another instead of it being listed on the MLS.
Yeah.
That's the difference. In Colorado, we always worked by buyer's agency contract. So I mean, that's all normal. That's all the same. But other states weren't. They didn't have contracts like that, and the commissions were not as clear as they are here. But
can we see if we can get Joe Lazare on for next hour?
I can try.
I do like though that the communication with agents, because
I
how
can
many
try.
times you've probably had this 100 times too, where people send you an offer, they never call you, they didn't show the house, you call them, they never answer, they never call you back, and it's like,
I know.
is this a real offer? I mean, what do you do with it?
That's the ones that always puzzle me, is the ones that just send an offer, don't call you ahead of time, tell you there's an offer coming, or
Don't even answer when you call them, or it's like they're not even
Really?
pushing their offer. Yeah, I've had that so many times, where it's like, are they just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, or?
yeah, investors
Yeah, typically investors.
Frank's dealt with the worst and the best.
and the best,
But
everything
man,
in between too.
There were some clowns in the business that shouldn't be in the business.
Is there
Oh, I can agree with that.
a big market when it's a new Bronco season and the old guys sold their houses that got cut?
I doubt that makes a big market.
It doesn't
What are
really
there?
impact
I think
us.
that's such
an
I think
obvious
people- I think
buyer.
people that sell the high
10
end real
players.
estate,
Sure.
that kind of thing. But it doesn't really impact everyday real estate now.
I mean, look at the class of house it is. I mean,
Yeah, most of your buyers aren't up at that price point.
Like Wilson,
Yeah, that was what.
Yeah, but that
25
kind of
million or
house-
something.
Yeah, something pretty substantial.
25 million. That's crazy.
You would think the Broncos might have their own real estate company that just
Yeah, they
switch
might.
titles.
There are
10
just some
seconds,
agents
guys.
that stay in the luxury.
You right in your pocket. Open the free iHeart app, search NFL, and start listening now.
630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Quentin is calling, and I don't want to run out of time with Quentin, so we can continue this, and I want to take some other issues. But Quentin, so did Sean call me? Did you say Sean called me at one time?
He's actually on
I'm here,
now, Tom.
Okay, how can Sean be on the phone? Is he in prison?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm on the.
Oh, wow.
I'm here, Tom. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can, Sean. Did we talk before,
How you
Sean?
doing? Yes, we did. I
Okay.
gave you my information last week.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about, because I just received a denial from the court. It makes no sense on those claims.
Do you have-
The jury found me not
Do you
guilty
have an
and
attorney, Sean?
They'll send me to prison. I did. Yes, I do.
And
But,
what does your attorney say
at this
about
point-
what does your attorney say about the denial?
Well, she doesn't know. I just received a denial late last night in the mail.
How long
From
is
about
it?
9
Is it
o'clock.
too long to read?
It's too long to read, but it's a denial.
Is it a court
being paid
order
as well.
or is it a court order?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Do you have a
I'll
case?
send you a
Do you have a case number on that?
Yes. 08
Hold on. Okay. 08 what?
dash CR dash 10481.
481. Okay.
Yeah, and so what essentially has happened is the railroad continues. The court has been this motion has been pending.
Oh man, your
Tom.
phone connection
5
is
years.
bad. Your phone I mean, we can hardly hear you, bro. I really want to hear you. It's just hard.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can you
better.
hear me now?
Way better. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, this motion's been pending for 5 years in this same court, and now all of a sudden the court's saying that these claims are successive, and that I should have brought it on.
Tell me the main motion is a motion for what? Is it for a motion for reconsideration? Is it a motion for what? What is it a motion for?
It's a motion for post-conviction relief
Okay.
on those issues that I talked about double jeopardy and also about the exculpatory Brady violation that occurred during trial proceedings. And so I had a major exculpatory Brady violation where the Denver police, Joel Humphrey, withheld exculpatory evidence that could exonerate him.
What
And
did
the
they
court
with?
ruled in
What
my
did they?
favor, but
What did they withhold?
they withheld a video of the only eyewitness to this murder saying that I wasn't and my co-defendant wasn't the shooters and that he had seen the shooters at the Aurora
All right,
Mall.
hold on.
And then we
Hold
have
on.
to-
Hold on, sir. We got a problem here with his connection, okay? We need to reestablish this and come back and hear about this. Hold on. This is
Okay.
How would you spell Birch? B-I-R-C-H.
And I want to talk to Tom about it.
Like the street?
All right. What's your name?
like a tree.
I used to live on Birch, B-I-R-C-H, yeah.
S-C-O
Birch tree.
I'm
It was
looking
Birch
up
Street.
this case.
Yeah, I have a spruce.
Similar
Yeah,
to
Spruce.
I used to live on Beach. Similar to Beechwood with an R.
Beechwood. I used to live on Beechwood, too.
Ah, fuck. This has never mind. This
Is
is
it a
where you
will
get
or?
I need to find. How do I find this case?
Was that a case number he gave you or a CRS number?
No, it's not a CRS. He would have said CRS,
Yeah.
right?
What's the first two numbers of the case?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Hang on for me.
2008. All right, that'd be about right from what he's.
Dash CR.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that'd be about right from what he's talking about. 17 years.
Fine.
Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Atlanta, 2 people were killed. And
Stephanie, do you do any Zillow?
I haven't. I know. Are you still seeing positive with Zillow?
Well, they have what's called Zillow Showcase.
Yes, they're calling me about that.
Yeah,
How's that work?
I've been using it. What it is
What is it?
it's called Zillow Showcase, and the way it worked, Tom, like if a home went on Zillow, even though it's your listing, if an agent pays for that zip code, if somebody calls on it, that lead goes to that person that pays for the zip code. So with Zillow Showcase, I know.
I know. It's
But Zillow Showcase, they got to go through me now. They call me and my team because we showcase the listing, and then it gets us in front of more eyes. So I'll see it. It's kind of a new thing. We'll see how it works. We just started using it, so
okay.
I'm in the mindset you give it a shot, see, and
Sure.
you know.
Sure. How expensive is that, if you don't mind me asking?
They charge per listing, so if you have like a higher end listing, it's going to run about $750. If it's like maybe something below 500,000, maybe around 400 per listing. So it's not too bad.
No.
You know, if you buy a zip code, it just depends on how much you want to spend. per
Sure.
month. So
That'd be interesting. No, but they've been calling me about that. I should set up a. They wanted me to do a Zoom with them. I should. Set
I'll
that
give
up.
it a shot, or I could be your guinea pig and I let you know how it works.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, we'll
For
see it.
sure. But I might jump on and do their Zoom too.
It's early to tell. We'll just have to see. But I think with the new changes, maybe that could be positive. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know. It's kind of a drag when you list something and somebody else gets your.
I
call on
know.
it,
I
so.
get that all the time. People
That drive you nuts.
talk to other agents, and
They know nothing about the property either.
No, they don't know anything about it, but they also, they're like, well, hopefully these people will call me back, if they have to change a showing or cancel a showing. It was just I'm like, yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah, I've got a hand, like this one listing that's amazing, but mountain listings have been sitting even longer.
Oh, mountain listings, yeah.
They're
You
really
have a
sitting
select
longer.
group of buyers.
Very. But I'm seeing some of those start getting up there pretty good in days on market, like really good.
Oh, I know.
And oh gosh, I have this one guy's shown it 4 times, another guy's shown it 3 times.
Yeah.
And they're all leads.
Buyers are meandering a little bit.
Yeah.
But guys, when they give you the feedback, oh, I don't like the floor plan, or I didn't like the tree in the backyard. You know what they're really saying? I have too many other choices. That has nothing to do with the tree or the floor plan or.
Yes. Yeah. And if you do some basic intake with your buyers on what they're actually looking for, some of that you would know. And I've definitely seen some frustration from sellers on that, where not liking the floor plan.
Quentin, how do you spell Sean? Is it Sean, S-E-A-N?
Comments coming back where it's like, you knew this is what it was.
A what? How do you spell his first name?
It shows you where the bedrooms are. Yeah. It shows you the dimensions. Like,
Oh, so it's Fawn with an F as in
We
Frank?
have
like
5.
incredible. It's
Oh,
incredible.
S-H-A-U-N?
Forgot about the one live that we have.
Now I
Fuller?
have an agent tell me-
Who cares?
S-H-U-N, like shun?
Like, to be honest, I didn't even look at your listing, your photos, your
And how do you spell his last name?
look if my clients are interested later, and I'm like,
B-I-R-C-H?
don't know anything about it.
Okay. All right, hold on.
What's that?
They did a preview.
No, he was showing it. He's like, but I didn't even.
Man, I would have never guessed shun.
Like questions about, like comments about, XYZ items. It's like, we had notes in there saying that was done this,
Found guilty of murdering. Okay. Okay.
Kind of wonder how these guys do business.
I
It
know,
was a
I'm with
murder
you.
in 2006. Got it.
Yeah, not how I do things. So
Yeah, no kidding.
I always try to give it my best for people.
A second man, 29-year-old Sean Birch, has been convicted of murdering a witness. He was one of 3 men charged. He said there was no accomplices. Sean Birch.
Fuller should be on 5.
Right now? Right now? Later. Not now. Soon. Maybe later. Possibly.
Okay. Okay. Weird. Okay, I'm finding a lot about him now.
He found the call.
I see why he's talking all this double
sounds
jeopardy.
like he was,
Several different agencies got him on several different related charges to the one thing.
I don't remember.
He's got a long line of
All right,
criminal
20 minutes ago.
history.
You just have to be wearing
Embroiled in trying
carrying
to
it
reboot
45 when he
shit.
was arrested.
Just happened to be.
Lame. Stupid.
And it was a witness they killed.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's Ryan Schuling.
Brian Shoestring. 10 seconds here, Tom.
The ever-changing landscape of the 2024 race for president. Our flight departs at 2, so get on board here on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RenewHomeInnovations.com for beautiful conversion, showers, beautiful conversions. So you go from a shower tub combo to a beautiful rectangle shower, and you can do it in 2 or 3 days with 72 months to pay, no interest. That's an incredible deal. Stone walls that require no maintenance, stone resin, glass panels, no doors if you want them, because they can do it with a walk around, and also no threshold perimeter drains, grab bar soap dishes. You make them custom for you. 303-904-2000. 72 months, no interest. 303-904-2000. Listen, I looked up this case, and I want to go back to it after I talk to Scott. I don't want Scott to wait for this entire case. Then we have Stephanie Thomas with us from Colorado Springs Real Estate. Stephanie, I'm sorry, your agency is...
Coldwell Banker.
Coldwell Banker. I want to write that down. And then Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, which is RE/MAX Alliance. And thank you guys for being here. We're talking real estate. And I do have a real estate problem I wanted to bring up. I don't have it. I'm going to bring it up after this one. Scott, what's going on with you, Scott? What's happening?
Hey, Tom. Needed some general advice. I've heard you talk about it over the years, but never really paid that close attention because I've never been in this position. But my father-in-law passed away. He was single. He's got an asset. He's got some debts. What do we do?
Okay.
My wife and
All
my
right.
brother and sister. What do they do next?
All right. First and foremost, you don't necessarily need a probate or you don't have to open probate unless you want to. As a relative, you're not required to do anything. Let's just say somebody's estate was complicated, riddled with debt. It's going to come out negative, nothing to worry. You don't have to get involved. No one does. People think they have to get involved. They don't. They don't have to get involved. So let's say you want to get involved, because when you take the pluses and the minuses, there's a positive there. So let's take that. Is there a positive at the end?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. How much negative is there?
Not much. Just some medical bills. Maybe $1,000 or $2 is what we're finding.
And what are his assets?
Only thing is a car. He sold his home about a month ago before he passed.
Where's the money?
It's in his bank.
Well, then there's a lot of assets. You said only the car.
Yeah. The car. It's in his name, and
the bank. And the bank.
The car is paid for.
And the bank. You said
bank,
he
yeah.
sold a house. So I'm going to ask, I don't mean to be a nitpicker, but I have to be.
Huh?
What assets does he have?
Just a bank account. That's it.
And the car now, right? Or did the car go away? You said the car first.
He has the car. Yeah, his daughter.
Okay, what
wants
are
to
the
drive
assets? The car and the bank account only, right?
Correct.
Okay. What do they total, do you think, in value?
About $150,000.
Okay, so you can't do a small estate affidavit. You can't do a small estate affidavit over, I think it's 80 grand, 75 or something. And then you also have to have no real estate, but you don't have real estate. You have money and you have a car. So you're going to have to open a probate. Okay? Unless there was a trust, I take it he had nothing. Did he have a will?
No will. Nothing.
Okay. So who did he have a wife?
She had passed away 9 months ago. He did have a second wife.
Okay. He had no second wife. His wife passed away. He had no other wife. Did he have anyone who will claim to be his wife?
No.
Does he have any kids?
My wife and a brother, and she has a brother and a sister, 3 children.
Okay. The 3 children will be in line next without a will.
Okay.
Now, you have to file, somebody has to file, one of the kids has to file probate. And then...
How do you do that?
Well, I'm going to tell you. Then when you open up the probate, then you have to send out notice to creditors. Then you have to wait a certain amount of time. Then you can distribute assets. Once you open probate, that person who opens probate and becomes the personal representative at the time will be personally responsible if they don't do this properly. So what I suggest is an attorney. I think it's foolhardy for anything that much, because 150 is nothing to sneeze at. I would say let him do it the right way. And you need an attorney that's not going to milk you. So I would call Dan McKenzie. He's a single firm. I mean, he's a good firm. He knows what he's doing, and just tell him the situation. He'll do as little or as much as you need, but he doesn't just go in automatically with some of these big firms with guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? So you can control it. Say, hey, Dan, we just had someone die without a will. 3 siblings. Are the siblings all in agreement?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
No fighting.
3 siblings. We just want to split it all up. How do we do this painlessly? He'll talk to you. So let me give you his number.
All right.
And it sounds like a big corporate number, but it's not. He's local. 833-CO plans.
Cool.
His name is Dan. He's local. He's a great guy. Now,
he's on the radio, right?
Yeah, he's on my show all the time. So listen, just call and say you heard him on the radio, and then ask him questions. He'll answer some questions for you, and you'll see what to do. Now, again, if it was a small estate affidavit, you probably wouldn't need an attorney. But once you're getting into creditors, and there might be others out there, or you want to cover yourself, you want to do it correctly. And again, a good attorney doesn't look at the estate and think, oh, I'm going to get a good part of it. They charge by the hour or by a flat rate. Okay, Scott? So that's McKenzie Law, and it's the website is coplans.co. Okay. Quentin called for his nephew in prison. I read about the case. This was not a small case. They say that he murdered a witness. Very little to do with a burglary. They said he murdered a witness who was going to testify against a gangbanger, and he was convicted. And it was a murder back in 2006. And you know, like a lot of people convicted, they want to set aside verdicts. Some have been successful because, you know, of extenuating circumstances, new evidence, and all that. So it's almost impossible to do alone. So Quentin, I don't know if Sean's still on the air. On the phone, is he? Because his connection was terrible. Is he still there?
Yeah, still here.
Yeah, we can't hear you. Sean, Quentin, are you having problems hearing him?
I can hear a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, it's hard. So here's the thing, Sean. You appealed, basically, on grounds that the courts would not hear. That's not unusual.
Correct.
So I'm not saying I wouldn't take it personally, but what I would say is this. If there is a ground for an appeal, or if there are grounds for appeals, a good attorney needs to look at this, come up with the grounds, and do a motion. Did you do the motion on your own?
Yes, I did. And then the attorney took it over.
Okay. And the attorney that took it over,
after I did it.
the attorney that took it over, how are you paying for this attorney, or did they do it as a project?
They appointed counsel. The court appointed counsel.
Okay.
After I did the pro se motion, then they appointed ADC counsel.
Did he send us that motion? Sean Kachina, my producer, said you sent us some paperwork. Did you ever send us your original motion?
No, I didn't. I sent you my affidavit. I sent to the district attorney's office.
Yeah.
And as well as to the
What
court.
is your main contention, Quentin? What is your main contention? Not Quentin, I'm sorry, Sean. What is your main contention?
Well,
go ahead. What is the main
the
evidence that you feel was withheld?
Well, the main evidence that withheld is the main evidence that would find me not guilty, but they still found me guilty and sent me to prison.
Well, they found you guilty of murder. They didn't find you not guilty. They found you guilty of murder.
Yeah, but it's the same charge, Tom.
No, it's not the same charge. I'm looking at it here. It's not the same charge. Sean, that's why I think you're losing, because you're not arguing the right argument. Sean, like I said, I can't explain the law to you in a way that you're going to agree with it, okay? But here's the point.
Okay.
The first degree murder, the first degree burglary and felony murder, okay? They found you not guilty of first degree murder and felony murder, okay? A first degree burglary, and felony murder as a result of the burglary. But they did find you guilty of first degree murder, period, because, and conspiracy, because they said the murder was not tied to the burglary. They still found you guilty of murder because they said you killed the guy for being, or the woman, I don't know, whoever you killed, for being a witness.
But listen, Tom, the thing is that they said that I did that to commit the murder. They said I committed burglary to kill the witness. They said that I did felony murder.
But they found insufficient evidence. Evidence.
Look at the document.
They found insufficient evidence for the burglary, but you still did the murder, they're saying. There were two separate murder charges.
Oh, they're the same. That's what I'm saying. That's how they're tricking you, Tom, because they're the same exact murder count. If you look at the burglary instruction I sent you, it has murder after deliberation as instructed in
Sean,
instruction 20.
Sean, there's no way a judge would sentence you in a not guilty verdict, but they found you. It specifically says here, the court records, the jury found him not guilty of first degree burglary and felony murder, but, okay, he was found guilty of first degree murder. And conspiracy to commit first degree murder. I don't look
correct. That is correct.
Okay,
Tom, it's not unusual to give the jury three different charges.
We need to talk to a defense attorney. Our guy isn't available. We just need to talk to someone. Is your attorney free to talk to us?
She may be. I don't know. You can give her a call.
All right, hold on. I don't know how long you can stay on the phone. I'd love, I don't mind talking to people about this. If there's somebody behind bars and it's wrong, I don't know enough about the law to tell you this was right or wrong, but from what I'm reading, this is not unusual to separate the murder and say, well, no, he wasn't really committing burglary. But he did commit murder. If you walk into a house to shoot somebody and you're charged with breaking and entering and murder, and they find you not guilty of the breaking and entering, you can still be found guilty of murder. I don't know why you feel like it had to be burglary for it to be murder. I don't know, but I'll ask a defense attorney. We have the case in front of us, 303-713-8255.
Will you have the income you need for retirement? Worried about your investments? There's something you can do about it. A plan guaranteed in writing not to lose a dime. Guaranteed returns. Income for life. Call now for a free retirement evaluation and get a free best-selling book by certified financial planner Joe Chiano. 303-779-6600. The book, Smart Money Moves. And it's free. 303-779-6600. Free retirement review and a book. 303-779-6600.
I'm talking to John Fuller, who is a personal injury attorney, and I love talking to him as our expert when it comes to various issues surrounding personal injury. He gives us his expert advice and something you should listen for, and if you ever need him, you can call him, and I'll give you his contact info. But, John, like when you have insurance involved, and since insurance is going to end up paying, let's say, underinsured coverage or uninsured coverage, can they stop you from settling with the other party because they're thinking, wait a minute, we don't want to pay that much and you got to get more from them or less from them and we're not going to get involved or whatever? Can they get involved when it comes to you settling for your client?
Yeah, actually they can, Tom. Now this is kind of advanced level stuff. So here's the basic deal. We all know that uninsured motorist doesn't kick in until the underlying limits have been exhausted. But the question arises that, the only way you can get those limits is by giving that guy a complete release. Otherwise his insurance company wouldn't pay the limits. But what if you had somebody that was seriously underinsured? Let's say you had some really, really wealthy person that had $25,000 of coverage. Well, clearly it would not make good sense, from a social standpoint, to allow people to have, abysmally low insurance coverages. So your uninsured motorist company has the ability to research and investigate the assets of the underlying tortfeasor, the person responsible for causing the accident. And if they conclude that they were not appropriately insured, your uninsured motorist carrier has the right to step into your shoes and go after that driver for the totality of your damages.
Wow.
And if they chose to do that, the first thing they would have to do is advance to you the amount of insurance that person actually did have. So in the case of 25, if you had, say, $1 million of damage, your insurance company could go after that full amount, but they would have to give you the 25 at first before they did that.
And then at the end,
crazy.
And then at the end, let's say they only collect part of your losses. Would they then have to kick in the rest?
If their coverage limits exceeded the amount that they recovered from that person, yes, they would have to, as long as your damages were greater than the amount awarded. Yeah, and the amount of money that they get from the at-fault person is going to be coming to you as well. So I've only seen it happen a couple times, but we go through it in every single case where we go and get permission from the uninsured motorist carrier just to make sure that the person below is adequately insured and doesn't have some secret cache of assets that they're hiding from the rest of the world. It's really interesting stuff. We deal with it all the time. If you're in that situation, you definitely should give us a call before you make the wrong move and cost yourself an awful lot of money.
John Fuller, thank you very much. 303-597-4500. These are great insights. PersonalInjuryCO.com.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here with urgent news. The world's central banks are making unprecedented moves, and it's time to pay attention. In 2022 and 2023, they bought more gold than ever before. And now in 2024, the trend is accelerating. Why? Because central banks have lost faith in the dollar. And in these uncertain times, gold is the ultimate safe haven. If you too are worried about the dollar, I urge you to take similar action by diversifying your IRA or 401k into gold with my trusted friends at Birch Gold Group. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantage status. So text HEDGE to 989898. That's HEDGE to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
The end of summer sale from ZeroResDenver.com. The best, safest, and healthiest carpet cleaning ever at the best deal yet. Buy 2-room cleanings and get 2 free. Book by September 1st. ZeroResDenver.com. 303-471-5150.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. See what our family can do for your family. 800-362-8370.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Sunny and warm, that's the name of the game. High temperatures in the middle 80s, winds out of the west, anywhere between 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. This is Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
Shop Labor Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Excel Roofing, by the way. is doing the complete roof systems. They will go up on your roof and check for hail damage without making you sign a contract. This is very, very important. And this is something I want to say because people are getting tricked into signing contracts because somebody comes to the door and says, hey, you have to sign for us to go on your roof. That's not true. Excel Roofing will not make you sign anything to check out your damage, and they go one step further. They'll give you a complete estimate, full detailed, without you signing anything. And then one step further, they'll even talk to your insurance company. Once you sign with them, they won't even hold you to it if you changed your mind. No penalty clauses. And then the best part is they don't take a cent until you're content. No other roofing company does that because no other roofing company operates this freely with consumers. 303-761-6400. excelroofing.com. E-X-C-E-L. excelroofing.com. Okay, so we got a problem here with this criminal defense and that this guy's trying to mount for himself. And I do want to get an attorney on. I do not want to talk about this without an attorney.
I actually did speak to the attorney that he proposes that he is working with.
And
she would not verify whether or not she was taking the case or whether she was working with him and does not want it.
I wonder because of confidentiality, but we weren't asking. I wonder if you're not allowed, like with HIPAA, a doctor wouldn't even say if they're your doctor. But I thought with an attorney, if she's of record, she could say she was the attorney if she was appointed. Not me. She may not want to talk about the case, but certainly she could say she's the attorney.
She would not say anything.
Or he.
She would not verify.
Or she. He or she.
She.
Now, let's just get a defense attorney of some. Come on. You throw a stone, you hit an attorney in the head, no matter where you are. So we got to be able to find a defense attorney. Let's call one. If Joe Lazar is not available, let's call somebody. We need to talk to somebody. Now, Don has a question about HOAs. Hold on, Quentin. I'm really trying to get some help here. Don, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. Hi. I will give you the background so you'll understand the context of my question. I live in an area where the inside of our fence is maintained by the homeowner. The outside of our wooden fence is maintained by the HOA.
Is that because it's your yard? Is it that easy?
I'm sorry, say it again, Tom.
Is that because that's just what we call your yard? The inside of your fence?
Evidently. So
are these single family homes or condos?
It's single family homes.
Okay, got it. So this is like any other neighborhood in the world. If it's in your yard, you maintain it. If it's outside your yard, either the city, county, or HOA maintains it.
Right.
So what about it? It's called common areas. So what about it?
They hired a company to spray their portion of the outside of the fence.
For common area.
The common area. But the company that they hired, Tom, didn't bother to put anything on the inside of the fence to keep the overspray from coming through that fence and onto the air conditioning units and
what did they spray? Was it something sticky? What did they spray?
It's a latex paint.
So they hired a painter.
Yes.
Okay. To paint the fence or to paint what?
They hired a painter to come in and paint the outside of the fence.
Okay, got it. I get it. Okay, now so the HOA hired a painter to paint their side of the fence.
Yes.
Okay, got it. And they got overspray and stuff on your stuff.
Yes. And so my question would be, who do I send the service of process after having paid to have all that taken off? Do I send that to the HOA?
Well, the HOA is not going to pay it. You can send it to them, and then to fight them is going to cost you more than it's worth. So hope you don't send it to the HOA. I would say if it was me, I would hold the contractor directly responsible.
Okay, so I would send the contractor the service of process.
That's right. How much is it?
It's going to be about $300.
That's nothing. Are you going to small claims court?
Yes.
Good. You're doing the right thing. I would serve the contractor. They have a duty. I mean, they can't be that reckless. How was it really? And it's not like you're trying to milk the situation. Was it really like? Did you take pictures and document it beforehand?
Yes, and I had someone else, Tom, come over and actually take the overspray off. So I've got.
No, I get it. I get it. But normally you would have contacted them first and asked them to do it and give them a chance to mitigate. But it's not like you're asking for a ton of money. I mean, so are they fighting you on this? Why not just ask them first?
Well, I sent them a note that outlined the problems, and they had a representative that came out, looked over the situation.
Okay,
and
so
agreed
the painting contractor did look at it.
No, the HOA sent a representative from the HOA out to look at it, and he concurred that, yes, there was overspray all over everything.
Did you give the painting contractor an opportunity to fix or pay?
I haven't talked to the contractor of the paint company because I thought this was a responsibility of the HOA since they hired the paint company.
It's not necessarily, no. And I'll bet you you signed something in your HOA documents when you bought there that you don't hold them responsible for vendors. I can almost assure you did. But what I'm saying is this. If you want to collect, then you want to go to the contractor because the HOA is never going to pay you for this.
Okay.
And if
All
they
right,
do, it's going to cost you more than it's worth. And then they're going to assess you for what they just paid. You never win with an HOA. Okay, just remember that you will not win.
Can an HOA assess one individual property?
Well,
you said that they could assess me for that.
Well, no, they would assess the homeowners for the legal fees, but your legal fees would never be reimbursed. So you get to pay your assessments, plus you get to pay your own legal fees for $300. So you decide what you want to do. I told you what I would do. 303-713-8255.
Hit that button just a little. For $300, I probably wouldn't.
Staying busy? Only here.
Only here. How about you?
What's that?
You been busy?
Not really. No, not too busy with that. No. I mean, with stuff from the show, but other than that, it's kind of calm right now.
It's like you can't do anything with the heat. Finally, it's getting a little bit cooler.
I know. I like a nice summer, though. I don't like it when it's all gloomy and gray and.
Yeah.
You know.
Like last year, I feel
Oh,
like
last
the summer
every day was great.
Oh yeah, but it's going so fast. Our summer's just flying.
Found a big snake in our backyard, Tom. Big bull snake. Wow. Oh my gosh, man.
I haven't seen snakes in so long.
And I don't know how to handle snakes.
Hold on, I got to do something here.
Shoot them.
Hold on, guys.
That's what I do.
Hold on, guys. Made in the Shade. You know what they are? They're window covering contractors. And I love them because they come into your house free of charge and they bring a designer with them and they do measuring. That alone is such a valuable service. And then when they come up with the measurements and the design and what you should have where, they come up with prices. If you like it, they then order, deliver, and have the best installers in the business. And you truly are made in the shade, meaning you have it on Easy Street and they'll take care of it all. Here's the number, 720-458-6566. Measuring, estimating, no obligation, 720-458-6566, denvershades.co. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. They are great people if you're looking for solar. I'm serious. They have guaranteed activation date. If it's not up and running when they say, they pay you for the power it should be producing. Think of that. Also, they do installation and they do, of course, service, even if they didn't put it in. They are the all-around solar company. And by the way, if you have a commercial system, they know about grants to get them paid for 100%. Why don't you find out more? Give them a call, redrocksrs.com, 303-704-2449.
One of the
Well, I was just going to tell you, we're going to buy one of those.
I have one.
Yeah.
What I do, I have a creek that goes alongside my house.
Okay.
I catch the snake. I go across the bridge on the other side of the water, so it's on my neighbor's side, and I drop the snake because I figure you ain't going to swim across to come back to me.
So now I'm going to buy me a rubber snake and play a prank on my son.
Oh,
you know that's
no.
going to happen now. We're all cautious of snakes now.
Does anyone know a defense attorney we can call? Golly.
Don't you have the guy that begins, Lazara?
He's in court.
Oh, no, the other one begins with a B.
Bandinelli?
Bandinelli. Because there's 3 on the referral list.
All right, so I need to figure out how to get an attorney. I wonder. We need more than one criminal defense. We really do. We just have too many things come up. Chachina, can we just try to find? Do any shows ever use criminal defense attorneys to talk to? Do we have anyone who knows anyone? I don't care. I mean, if we can't find Lazara, we have to have a standby.
I could call Dan.
Who?
He has the high-pitched voice.
He's
not really a defense attorney.
His former partner.
Yeah. What you call it though? What the hell is this?
Silver. Craig. Yeah.
I don't even know what Craig's doing right now.
He was a good deputy DA in Denver. He knows the law.
I can try to get George Brockler.
At one time, they did the show together.
Yeah, they did.
Well, yeah, they did the show.
Hello?
They never worked together.
Can you hear me?
He was kind of liberal and conservative.
Hello?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Tom!
They should all be available now because they normally go to lunch.
Is there a reason she can't use the mic? She can't use the mic? What? Are you? Why can't you use the mic?
No, it doesn't come through very well from the board.
Oh.
I can get George Brockler.
Good. Would he come on?
I think so, but if
Ask
he's
him.
available.
Yes, ask George.
Or Dan.
Dan doesn't know much about crime.
No.
But George Brockler might be good if he would do us a favor.
Let me try to call George.
Yeah, George is a good idea.
Addiction, trauma, depression, and anxiety can make you feel like you're alone. We promise you're not. The Raleigh House is here for you. The team at the Raleigh House provides treatment unlike any other. They understand what you've been through, and they can help you get where you need to go. The Raleigh House provides a place where you can heal from addiction.
Why did I get
Especially because he's a DA, a former DA. He would know about how they parse the charges.
That's the Raleigh House. 720-797-8717.
We have our local preacher and home improvements. ERHI.com.
Denver's talk station.
630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay. Quentin, we're trying to get somebody on that really would be good if we could to put perspective on this case, if you can just hang on a little while longer. So Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. Frank, you've been doing, we advertise for you that you do market valuations of people's homes if they're thinking about listing and there's no obligation, but if people are just wondering what a house is worth. Do you usually find people find their house is worth more than they thought or less than they thought? I'm curious.
Boy, it's all over the board, Tom. I meet with some people where they're surprised. Wow, I can get that much, and we do pretty well.
You ever hear from people say, "Well, I thought I could get more than that,"
because they say, "Oh, my tax assessment said it was this,"
or my neighbor,
or sure. So I run it both ways, actually.
And once you find out what you think the house will sell for, and I don't want you to give away too many secrets. Do you price it there?
Here's what I do. I show them the options. I say, if we take this route, this is where I think you'd come out better.
Because you get multiple offers?
Sure. If we take this route, I think you'll get demand, but maybe not as much leverage. And if we take this route, you could start higher, but you do risk that if you sit there too long, you can miss the market. So I break it down different ways so they can make that informed decision.
That's Frank Duran, 303-920-1622. Stephanie, do you do valuations of homes?
I do.
Do you find people are happy or surprised or not happy?
I think it's a little all over the board, like Frank said. Absolutely.
Okay. So, Stephanie, let me just write down your number here. I don't have it. I'm sorry. Let me just.
No, that's okay.
Go ahead.
It's 720
Yeah.
260
Hold on. 720 260
0918. That is my cell,
Okay.
so I can get text or calls there.
You don't mind people going direct there?
Not at all.
Okay. Stephanie Thomas in Colorado Springs. How far north do you go?
I will come into Castle Rock area. You
Okay.
know, I'm pretty familiar with Douglas County, so I'll do some work there. But for the most part, if it
I
gets
never
too far
asked this
north,
of either of you. I never asked this of either of you. Seriously now. Are there houses you don't list or you're not good at or that is out of your wheelhouse, do you feel? Do you have anything? I mean, I know that a lot of people want to do, if they could do it. They want to do everything. But what do you feel most adept or maybe all of them? I don't care. I mean, what do you?
You know, where I'm located, I'm pretty versed with, you know, raw land sales, homes with land. Those have different complications than, you know, typical homes. I'm also really experienced and versed just in town with your typical homes. So I've got a pretty wide array there. But if it gets outside of an area
like
that
rural?
I'm comfortable,
Rural?
yeah, I can do rural. But if it gets outside of an area that I know or I'm comfortable, you know, I will advise that it's best for me to find an agent in that area.
Frank, is there any sweet spot you like or not like?
You know, Tom, many years ago when I first started out, I was trying to do everything. I was selling mobile homes, land, you name it. And I decided I didn't just want to do it at a good level. I wanted to, God willing, sell it at an elite level.
Okay.
And I decided to specialize more in single family, everyday real estate. So townhomes, condos, single family, you know, just your typical everyday real estate.
Okay.
So I don't really sell, you know, mountain property. If it's a mountain property, I'll refer it to somebody I know that specializes in mountain properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then price ranges. What's the most expensive house you sold? I'm curious.
Maybe $2 million.
Oh, okay. So you're up there, Steph.
Yeah, I had one at 1.3.
Okay. So anyway, but price doesn't scare you one way or the other.
No, not at all.
Okay. Are higher priced houses easier for people to buy and sell? Do you find that the transactions are easier
on higher price?
Yeah.
Depends on the area. Depends on the type of property, Tom. I think, especially right now, like let's say your high-rise condos, those are much tougher. Also, it's a little bit slower of market too because there's less, there's more inventory out there, less buyers available.
Yeah, and okay. Now, the one I told you about, the weird real estate problem. I don't know if you can help, but do you know who Honey Boo Boo is? Alana Thompson. Did you know she moved to Colorado?
I did not know she moved to Colorado.
Yes, she did with her boyfriend. And she is being, I don't know if she's being evicted, but she can't renew where she is. And she's looking for a house, but they don't have any money. They can't rent because they said there's too many student loans on. She says she can't put it in her name. I don't know why. And her boyfriend has student loans, but he also has a criminal record. So they're looking to rent a place. And she does make money still from reality TV, and I'm not sure where that money's going. I don't know anything about it. But I can't imagine why she said she needs her fans' help in Denver to find her a house. She says her boyfriend, Draylin Carswell, is having a problem. She suspects it's because of his student loans, but other people say it's because he has a criminal record. He was arrested when he tried to get away from a traffic stop, and they finally got him to stop the car or ran him off the road, and he was found with the illegal drugs and gun in the vehicle. He was charged with running from police, speeding, etc. So, criminal records, it's very difficult, I would say, to rent. I mean, because the rental market right now is so tight.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. Don't you believe? And then do you still have to have triple the amount, or did they change that law? I thought they were trying to make it easier to qualify for renting. I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Steph?
I don't do rentals.
Yeah.
I usually refer them
So,
out, but
okay.
I did hear what you're referring to.
I heard they were
and
trying to
I
make it
thought
more
they did
affordable.
Too. However, I had somebody I knew recently who was denied being able to get into an apartment complex because they didn't quite make the 3 times. So they wanted a co-signer who would make 5 times the rent. And they were literally like a hair under on each calculation and were flat denied. So,
Honey Boo Boo, do you need a co-signer? Yes, she does. So she goes by Alana now. And really, I shouldn't make too much fun of her. This girl had a very weird upbringing, being on reality TV since, 6 or 7 years old, however old she was, in those pageants. Remember that?
Hey,
And-
Tom.
Yeah.
We do have George.
Oh, we have George Brockler. Okay, I want to take him real quick. George, thank you so much. George Brockler is a former district attorney and a friend, and I know him, a talk show host. And George, I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
We have a guy on, and I don't know if you're familiar with the case. It wasn't, I don't believe, in your jurisdiction. Sean Birch was found guilty of first-degree murder, okay, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and was sentenced to life plus 48 years. And he's upset and has been trying to appeal. He's been in jail for 17 years. And one of the things he says is he was also charged with first-degree burglary and felony murder connected to the burglary. But that one, he was found not guilty. And he feels if he was found not guilty of the burglary and the murder was tied to the burglary, how can he be found guilty for the murder? I hope that makes sense.
So here's what I've done. While you've been talking to me, I finally looked this thing up, and it looks like it came out of Denver.
Yes.
And it was a witness killing.
Right.
Is what they said. That
Right.
happened back in 2006. Those are 2 distinct charges, and here's how someone could be found guilty of a murder as well as conspiracy. You don't even have to be the trigger puller or the person who puts the knife in a person. You could be an accomplice. And for people that are listening, when you're an accomplice to a crime, you eat the liability just like you're the person who's actually doing the crime. It's like the getaway driver in a car that you know you're signing up for ag robbery. So that's one vehicle for him to be guilty, even if, and the other thing is that the felony murder predicated on the burglary, that they could say, hey, we don't think that it was a death that ensued from the burglary, but we do think that you murdered this guy.
Okay.
Maybe they don't think it was a burglary.
They don't have to be convicted. They don't have to be connected.
They don't have to be connected. But I'll say this to the extent, too, and Kelly described this to me as, hey, maybe it's a wrongful conviction thing. Everyone should know that when you're convicted of any felony in the state of Colorado, you have an automatic appeal to the Court of Appeals. And in any murder case, especially one in which the public defenders represented this guy, I presume that appeal happened and that the Court of Appeals, at a minimum, if not the Supreme Court, already reviewed this. So these issues of what are called inconsistent verdicts, that's what's being suggested here. That's already been reviewed by the Court of Appeals. I can't think of but one case in my 30-year career where someone didn't get an automatic appeal from a conviction, especially
George,
for murder.
I
that's
so
already been-
appreciate your expertise. I got to take this break, but George, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Colorado State Patrol.
Well, our drive hasn't been too bad as we head into the lunch hour. We've got a little bit of road work, some mobile road work taking place eastbound 270. They've been working that stretch around Vasquez. They'll do a little work and then move on, and we are seeing a bit of a delay coming down from I-76. They're in place here westbound I-70 right around 225. We got a little bit of a backup from Pena through there. There's been some police activity westbound I-76 around Federal. That drive is running heavy and slow from Pecos, but that's about it. Everywhere else we're up to speed. No other big issues out here. Denver weather today, partly cloudy skies, high up to 87. It's 76 now. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
Slow down and move over. For people changing a tire,
roadside workers, or emergency service crews. Slow down and move over. It's the law. Brought to you by the Colorado State Patrol.
K&H Home Solutions, the oldest home improvement company in all of Colorado, has one of the greatest windows made, and they're made right here in Colorado. So put that together. A heritage window made here in Colorado, installed by a company made here in Colorado. K&H Home Solutions and Alpin Windows, a thermally insulated fiberglass frame and an insulated glass unit that's made for Colorado and these harsh conditions and mild conditions as well, and heat and cold. That is khwindows.com, a great combination, 303-421-7100. Fixmyhome.com, you want people to come and take care of your furnace and air now before the winter. You know, I get so many calls saying they can't get somebody out there. And I even get complaints that Fix It won't go out and do it for $39. That's right, because they only have certain times they'll do this special deep clean. And it's when they're not that busy. That's this time of year. So when it comes cold in the winter and your system isn't working, they're not going to do it. $39 right now for the extreme clean and checkup and a no breakdown guarantee. 720-526-3939. And that's only for new customers, $39. Fixmyhome.com. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, the name says it all. That's what they are. A financial advisement firm that helps you get ready for retirement. Whether you're building a nest egg, you have a nest egg you want to keep safe, or you want to turn it into income. Whatever it is, they help you with that financial part of it. Plus, they help you with finding the right insurance for long-term care and other needs. They can even help you with making overfunding of life insurance for income and security. They can also help you with any kind of retirement issue. All of their consultations are free with absolutely no obligation. rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumbline Services with quality brands. So, any ideas for Honey Boo Boo?
I don't even know who the person is.
You don't know?
How can you not know that?
Let me look her up.
I've heard of the name.
She's
Me
about,
too.
she's
But
the size of a fire plug.
Tom, I know a few places that deals with rentals. I just don't know how much they can help. I guess I'd have to kind of know her situation a little bit.
I don't think this girl actually is trying to make something of herself. She was brought up in reality TV. She's a big fat girl, you know.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Anyway, but she's going to college trying to be a nurse. I mean, she's not trying to live off of that old bullshit. And I don't think I kind of feel sorry for her. I really actually do feel sorry for her. But she knows nothing but being in front of a camera and talking to people. That's why she went on TikTok to make this appeal. I don't know. She's at Regis University. She's trying to make something of herself. Can't fault that.
YouTubers want her to call into the show.
Yeah, okay.
Talk to you.
Good idea. That's a good idea.
Can you
I
imagine?
want Honey Boo Boo to call. Maybe I'll
I had
co-sign for her.
Gotten locked out.
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. To you?
She's been on KYGO.
Oh, she has already. Now, Mama June is the mom.
Stuck in purgatory.
Mama June, now she is a trip.
All right, are we done with Quentin?
They didn't go back to him after Brock, so I don't know.
Mama June lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, these names sound familiar. I just can't place them in my mind.
Me neither. Guess she had a show from 2012 to 2017. TV show.
Tom, who was your childhood hero? Like in the movies or TV or
Sky King I loved.
Sky King?
You don't remember him? Sky King was Jim Kirby, or he was a pilot who was I think he was a private investigator, and he had his sidekick Penny, his niece, and she was hot. So I like Sky King.
She was hot.
Well, It's funny. Look up Sky King. And then I loved, of course, Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Clark Kent. I loved him.
I thought he was just a cowboy, Sky King.
He could have been, but he
Oh,
used
the
to
rat.
solve crime.
Sky King?
Sky King. I watched that.
What was that, a bamboo warrior that he flew?
A twin.
twin,
No, I thought it was maybe an Aztec or something. He was a twin something.
Yeah.
And
Okay, Sky King.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Look, we can go back to Quentin if he wants to call back after the break. I can't do it right now. We don't have enough time. But Bennett, you wanted to give some kudos. Go ahead, Bennett.
Yes, Tom. 24/7. I would put that company against anyone else.
Good.
They
Fix it
are-
24/7. You liked it, huh?
Oh, I love it, Tom. I have a furnace that's 19 years old. I had them come out to clean it. They gave me all the pluses and minuses, and the price of a new one and an install, I think, is just fabulous. I put them up against anybody.
You know what? I'm glad you got that 19-year-old one. They would have cleaned it probably and all that, but I think that you're miles ahead with the new technology. Anybody, I think 19 or 20 would be my cutoff. If it's 15 years old, you can limp by a little. But Bennett, thank you very much for that information. Yeah, I really do believe in those guys. They do a great job. Look, as with all home services companies, right? There's no cheap anymore. There's value. There's good people that stand behind work. They do it the right way. And I have some good people. So thank you. I want to talk about real estate coming up. Also, if Honey Boo Boo's listening, Alana, she can call the show. We'll try to get her a cosigner for her apartment. I think Frank Duran will do it personally. I'm just kidding. Maybe Dragon will do it, but we'll try to find her help, seriously. If she wants to call the show, she can call 303-MARTINO and get right through. And also, we have a bunch of other calls to take, 303-713-8255.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
What time is it, Dollar?
About lunchtime, huh?
You got it.
Snack time.
Snack time. It's never a lunch for me.
Right.
Okay, what is the solar company? Sure. Okay, so
I've given up.
what you need to do,
Except for when I'm
actually
here,
know
I've given
the
up
owner.
diet Coke.
So what you need to do is send
I was here last.
email.
Good
job.
Troubleshooter.com, and we can get you in personally with the owner of the company.
Do you want it? Oh, you have water?
I have water, thank you.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, if you send us an email at help@troubleshooter.com. Help,
You didn't bring any filling station burritos today, or what was that last time? Sushi, filling station sushi.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
I'm starving too. Oh my god, I have.
American consumers feeling more confident in August. The Consumer Confidence Index, which measures short-term expectations of the economy, rose last month compared to July.
Boo Boo and her mom was the opposite end of the spectrum, with the Kardashians on the other end.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Beauty versus.
Right. I don't really watch TV, but I remember seeing, little bits of that.
Districts across the country cutting classes short as strong heat waves move to the East Coast. ABC's
called
Lionel
hot
Reed
pads,
is
though.
After starting their first day of school yesterday, students at 63 public schools in Philadelphia will be sent home early today and tomorrow.
We do not have air in our cafeteria and in our auditorium.
Some schools in Iowa also
I would just see them as I was surfing the TV. It's like that game show. Family Feud. It must be on 24/7 on a channel.
I have no clue who this one is.
You're probably ahead of us all then because of that.
Yeah, that's like.
Sterling has been accused of distributing the tracks in violation of his purchase agreement after it was sold to a cryptocurrency collective in 2021. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Did you ever make it over to the spa, Don?
No. Yeah, still on my list.
Who's in the room?
I don't know who that is.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council. J-How News Time, 12:03.
It's Tuesday, right?
Accused of killing 7 people at a King Soopers in Boulder 2 years ago is underway.
Jim
On
Day.
Monday, potential jurors began picking up questionnaires in the trial of Ahmad
Is
Alula,
this
charged with
Judge New York screwing with Trump? Sentence him as close to the election
Are they going to sentence
to
him?
sway him? I don't know if they are.
Can he pardon himself?
Yes.
You think so?
Legally,
But it's a
yes.
state. I mean, the one in New York's a state crime.
You're right.
So I don't think he can do anything with that.
You're correct.
Yeah.
jury selection expected to last all week with opening statements possible Friday or next week. An increase in crime at 2 Denver parks has forced them both to close temporarily. Officials say there's been a rash.
Do they have income?
What's that?
Income? Your Honey Boo Boo? You said
I think
she gets
has
some reserve-
income, but I don't think it's his. She has some reality TV income. I don't think it's chicken shit either.
There's got to be some royalties.
Overall, the drive across town looking pretty good for most of our highways. In fact, we're pretty wide open up and down I-25.
I'm just texting my
across the city.
person I refer.
For traffic eastbound
Property management stuff too.
76 down towards Vasquez, but overall that trip across Commerce City not bad. Got a little bunching here westbound I-76 at Federal, C4 76th Avenue, Boulder Turnpike, all wide open. Now there is a crash on the north side of Brighton. It's a rollover northbound Highway 85 at 168th Avenue as they squeeze you down to one lane through there. We are seeing some pretty good backups towards.
Say she has to find a place by September 1st.
In
a couple weeks.
That's not not even.
Right.
Are you reading about it?
That's
Yeah.
That's this weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you can save money. Visit allstate.com or call to report today. Get ready to win your way to our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Maybe she can do a GoFundMe.
Yeah, but she can do that on an ongoing basis. It's not the deposit. No, they're not looking for money. I don't think. I think they're looking for qualification.
Custom insurance solutions to fit your needs. Get a quote and find why over 1 million small business owners trust them at
And that's the hardest thing. I mean,
small business.
you know, like getting somebody to go on the.
I mean, a private landlord might be willing to overlook that.
You're right.
Take Bennett's damn phone away. Oh, Bennett's sweet.
My property manager just texted. She said if they have a criminal history that's nonviolent and or doesn't have to do with fraud, we can typically get owner's permission to override the criminal history. I believe Colorado just changed the law that we cannot look past 5 years. So if something happened nonviolent and non-fraud, we cannot take that into account. And she said it is 2 times the rent for income qualification.
It's not, so that's way better. 2 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did she say what part of town she was looking at?
Afternoons 4 to 6.
Tuesday at 4. Has Kamala Harris's momentum peaked? And once those numbers start to drop, how low will they go? Also, why do Colorado Hispanics die so much younger than Hispanics in other states? Join me at 4.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Glad to have you with us. This hour brought to you by DenverRegen.com. Denver Regen, they do hair restoration with stem cells. I had it done. Now, it's not hair transplants or anything, and it takes a while. They say it'll be a few months before you see any kind of results, but I had them do a stem cell therapy, and I'm going back for, they do they do 2 things for one, and I'm going back for the second one this Friday. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that I got a giant bush of hair, but I do absolutely have some new growth. And hey, what the heck? I thought I'd give it a try. They also do pain therapy, for joints and regenerating all of your problems with arthritis. And it does help a lot, man. They're really good people. DenverRegen.com. Now, let me talk about this. I don't want to belabor this again. Quentin called and his nephew was on the line. We had a very bad connection. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to do this. But this guy, Sean, was convicted of murdering a witness, Sean Birch, in an 06 murder of a witness. And look, there were 3 people involved in these crimes. And Sean believes that he should be let out because he wasn't found guilty of the burglary. He was charged with burglary, felony murder with the burglary, but first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder on separate charges. And he was found not guilty of the first-degree murder and felony murder, that charge. But he was found guilty of first-degree murder, a separate charge from the burglary and murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. George Brockler was kind enough to come on the air and explain why someone or how someone could be convicted of one and not the other. Now, listen, I understand that Sean's trying to get out of jail. I mean, he was sentenced for life plus 48. He's going to die in jail. And he wants, to appeal this. Again, George said probably it was automatically appealed because it was a felony murder conviction, and that anything he does now is a long shot. He was just turned down on some appeal that he filed, and he's calling us. Now, we take calls like this, and we don't mind stirring the pot when there's something there. Quentin, I'm not well-versed in this case at all, okay? I'm not pretending to be any kind of an expert. All I was trying to do is I know that Sean's main contention was he shouldn't be guilty of the murder if he wasn't guilty of the burglary. And that is not the case. That is simply, if that's what he's looking to appeal on, he's never going to do it. Okay? I mean, by the way, George Brockler is a former district attorney, and he is saying, look, it happens all the time where someone can be convicted of a murder for just being an accomplice or for being a murderer without the burglary charge. So that charge of first-degree burglary and felony murder, that's one charge. But then he was also charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. That's what he looked up the case. So I don't know what his main contention is for appealing. Now, if there was evidence withheld and all that, that's a different story. But he's barking up the wrong tree when he says he can't be convicted of murder if he wasn't convicted of the associated burglary. I mean, there's no one, and I've been emailing someone and texting someone who says the same thing. He's wasting his time. I don't know what to tell you, Quentin. Why don't you try to find him an attorney to review his case, Quentin? Why don't you try to find it? Because that attorney he gave us, she was appointed, and she doesn't give a damn, okay? She doesn't want to talk to us. She doesn't,
Tom,
this. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you there, Tom?
Yeah,
She actually wants you to. She wants to speak now. He gave a release to her, Tom. If you can call her now,
okay.
She wants to come on. She's
okay.
very upset about the ruling. That
okay,
came
good. Kachina, did you hear that? Okay, she said the attorney would talk now, but wait till after the break because I must take some other stuff here. Deputy Chopper was on, now he's off. He was on, he's off. He's on, he's off, so he's not there. I want to go back to real estate because I have a couple texts here. I have Frank Duran, the real estate man, with me. I have Stephanie Thomas. Stephanie, is your website Stephanie RE still?
It is, yes.
StephanieRE.com?
That's correct.
And that stands for Stephanie Real Estate, StephanieRE.com. And then Frank is Frank Duran, therealestateman.com or FrankDuranHomes.com. And again, we're talking real estate today. And Stephanie, thanks for looking that up. We were joking about Honey Boo Boo not being able to find some place to rent. We talked about the rental requirements. You don't do rentals, you refer them out, but you found out they did come down. They used to require 3 times the amount.
That's correct. I reached out to the property manager that I refer to and asked her about the qualification percentage, if it's, 2 times, 3 times, whatever. And she confirmed it was 2 times the rent as income. So. Okay, so 2 times. And what about criminal convictions? If you don't mind, I'll just read this quick little text.
Yeah.
She said, if they have a criminal history that's nonviolent and or doesn't have to do with fraud, we can typically get an owner's permission to override the criminal history. I believe Colorado just changed the law that we cannot look past 5 years. So if that's something happened, nonviolent and not fraud, we cannot take that into account. And then she went on to say, if someone is having a hard time being approved by a property management company, she always suggests looking into private-owned rentals. Property managers have a lot of liabilities, so they're stricter with their application standards.
That's a good point.
Within Colorado law.
So if someone has something to rent, and again, so Honey Boo Boo, she was a reality star, and her name is really Alana, and she is Alana Thompson, and she went on TikTok saying, I moved to Denver. I'm finding it hard to find a place. And she went on to talk about some debt they have. Now, I do know she makes some income. I don't know how much she makes, but apparently they were able to pay rent. She's going to Regis University, studying nursing, or whatever prerequisite there is for nursing. And she has, I guess, her boyfriend now, not husband. Her boyfriend is Draylen Carswell. And I saw this post and I thought, well, today's real estate day. Any ideas? So here's what I want to know. Talking about really helping people into home ownership. What does it take nowadays, guys? I mean, a first-time home buyer. What's available for first-time home buyers? This is really important stuff. What's available?
Todd, there's some down payment assistance programs where a buyer could put down as little as $1,000 out of pocket. They have to qualify, of course. So there are programs out there.
Down payment assistance. So what would that do? That would make the rest of the down payment for them?
In other words, it would be just a minimal amount, but you have to qualify. But we have some in-house lending where we're at where they can work with a first-time buyer. So the first step is just get with somebody who's qualified.
Now,
a good lender.
What is qualification for a buyer, Stephanie? What is it?
What kind of specifically?
Like what kind of income, what kind of debt to ratios? What do they look for nowadays? I mean, before you waste your time looking for houses, you must figure out who can buy?
That's really a lender question on the exact percentages.
But
because
how do you
program
qualify people when you?
Every program is so different, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Do you not
Some
work a
will-
lot with first-time home buyers?
I do. Some
You
will do say 40% as a max debt to income ratio. Some might go up as high as 50, 52%. It really
Wow.
depends on the lender, what they're able to do. So when I start with a first-time home buyer, I always say, let's have a conversation with a really good lender and let's take a look at your picture, your income.
That's really what
and
you
see,
need to do.
Yeah, and see what that looks like and what we can do for you.
Do you do that? Do a lot of people get pre-qualified first, or at least, pre-qualified, not necessarily pre-approved, but do a lot of people try to get pre-qualified, Frank?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's one of the things. If somebody calls us off, let's say a sign call or those things, we'll ask them those questions. Have you talked to a lender? Are you buying with cash, a loan? No, I'm getting a loan. Are you working with a lender that you trust, or you need help getting in touch with a lender? No, we need help getting in touch with a lender. So there's a series of questions we ask them, Tom.
All right. Now, we have coming up more discussion. Plus, so if you're looking at real estate, if you have any questions about buying, I think virtually somebody had a text here about fix and flip. Is it dead? I don't know, guys. Do you ever see fix and flips anymore?
I don't know about you, Stephanie. I get a lot of offers from fix and flip people, but that doesn't mean they get accepted. I mean, we
you
get a
mean
ton of
for
them.
fixing up houses?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I see investors, looking for the deal, always looking for the deal. But right now the market values are high enough. People are better typically
Nobody's
selling
going to
them.
get a steal anymore, are they?
Unless they're in some kind of distressed situation, which you don't see very often, Tom.
Then how do these buying places do it? I advertise for one of them, Homevestors. I advertise for one of them. Like if you have a property, deferred maintenance, you don't want to have loan approvals and listings and showings. Call for whatever the number is. I have them as a client, right?
Yeah.
Well, how do they even get calls if people can get so much money for even crap homes?
Well, I'll give you an example.
And by the way, just because I mentioned it, I should not do the disservice. It's 800-44-BUYER. Why would people even call these places if they can get almost better prices? I don't know why. Is it because of the process?
Well, I had a gentleman call me, Tom. It was rough for him because he was facing foreclosure. He was days away, and he was really in a rough spot.
Okay.
So situations like that, and it's a case by case. Obviously, the place was rough. It wasn't going to go FHA or VA for sure.
Okay, so he didn't want to take the time.
Yeah, his buyer pool was very limited. So in that case, he talked to Homevestors, and they were able to help him.
Yeah. So Stephanie,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about the potential seller's personal circumstance, how quickly they
time
need to
horizon.
sell. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Especially with all the increased days on market we're seeing. So
Yeah. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. Oh, about 4 or 5 minutes.
I'll be quick. Okay.
It's all right. Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off, Tom.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh, our son started a company right out of high school, and he's killing it.
No shit.
So Aaron started
talk to
a
me, so
landscape
talk to me.
and lawn maintenance business, like Teller in El Paso County.
What's he going to do in the winter?
He's already got a contract with one of his contractors doing snow.
Not the most forward.
You know, we've been just talking about criminal defense, right? Joseph A. Lazara is someone, if you're ever in trouble, no matter how serious the charge. I mean, I know we just got a call today, right, about this charge for murder and burglary and all that. Now, obviously, most of my listeners are going to be faced with way lesser offenses, but whatever it is, even a DUI. Now, that's not a walk in the park. You need an attorney to get through the system. A DUI involves both criminal and traffic offenses. So Joe Lazara can handle it. Here's what I like about Joe: flat rate pricing always, and free initial consultations. I've known him for 30 years now. 303-429-6200. Made in the Shade. Those are Rindo covering people who I really like. They did Deputy Doc's place and a few other of my friends, and they go in first and just assess the place and measure it and give you design ideas, all free of charge. Then they come up with budgets. If they can fit a budget you like, then they go ahead and order and install with the best installers in the business, so you get the manufacturer's warranty on the window coverings, their warranty on the installation. So it's all one-stop shopping, made in the shade. The website's easy to remember, denvershades.co. 720-458-6566. And QCColorado.com, it's something that I bought and never regret. But I'm going to tell you, if you have differential temperatures in your home and you have a lower floor, a walkout basement or something, even a regular basement, and you want to even out the temperatures, this whole house fan does that. It destratifies the air and takes the extreme heat and expels it through the attic. Now, that alone helps your air conditioner work less. You use it mostly in the mornings or in the evenings, and you can even use it during the day on cooler days instead of air conditioner. And I love it. In the winter, even when you're all cooped up heating, you get a mild day, you can blow it out and get fresh air exchanges. I love QC Colorado. It's a straightforward thing. No wiring in the house. Takes an hour and a half to install it. And then you have a lifetime of comfort. Why don't you give them a call and see what they can do for you? 303-800-3419. 800-3419. That's QCColorado.com. You know, I love my QC. Deputy Doc is not having great results because he only has 2 floors, and he says the upstairs is extremely hot, the downstairs gets cooler. But what he wanted, and I didn't realize this, he wants to use it in the heat of the heat of the day, right? Well, in the heat of the day, he's bringing in heat.
There's no basement.
No, there's no basement, so he's bringing in heat through the downstairs. And it's expelling some of the hot out the top. And even though it's evening temperatures, it's still raising temperatures, right? So it's just, I wish I would have talked to him like of his actual layout. I don't know what his layout is, but mine has that, you know, the finished basement. Jesus, it's always cool or cooler. I even use it more during the day than most other people do. I use it not just early morning and evening. I use it sometimes throughout the day on just a regular day. But I'll tell you this, the biggest advantage I found was, you know how during the day when you're leaving and it's really hot out, a lot of people leave their air on so it doesn't take so long to cool down at night. They leave their air on all day. They might turn it up a bit, but leave it on. I turn everything off. And my house could be an oven when I walk in there, right? So, but it hasn't been on all day, saving all that money. But in 10 minutes with that thing on high, the heat's all gone. So then the air conditioner comes on, right? Then I turn the fan off. But it can clear it out in like minutes. So that is a really big savings right there.
It did.
It was so cool in your studio. That was unreal. I couldn't believe that wasn't the AC. Yeah.
Mark is on vacation.
I keep my fan on most of the hot day.
I don't know if
just the furnace
fan. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have 2
read it or
updates.
not.
Oh yeah.
She said to tell you.
Where were you, on the phone before or no, that? Oh, she put it on the call screener, so I knew it. Okay.
Okay, but I ran off to the.
Okay, I thought you were on the phone.
No.
And I had a sports coat on, and I was very comfortable. You know, I didn't feel hot at all.
My daughter moved in there now, and it's a nightmare trying to get her to do it right.
Oh no.
It's a nightmare because she won't run down, because you got to close the windows if you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
And then you got to open it if you are. You can't just turn on. If you turn on that fan without opening any windows, it'll suck out your freaking pilot light.
Oh,
it'll suck sewer gases through your drains. It's that strong. No, it pulls out through your drains. You start smelling. I mean, you got to have windows open if you turn it on. It's that powerful. You can feel it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I can tell if it's on and the windows, she forgot to open it, because I'll come in from the garage and it'll be
jeez.
This puff of air comes in. Wow. They're really strong.
From the Trajan Wealth K-House Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. So when it comes to real estate, and I know that it's getting more and more difficult for renters and for landlords. Now, landlords are complaining that they're losing a lot of rights, but okay, I'm going to tell you something. The pendulum is swinging. For years and years, it was a terrible place to rent because renters had no rights. Now the pendulum has swung where they have I believe they have a lot of rights, but the prices are outrageous. But landlords are complaining, like the just cause law, saying you can't evict someone without a cause. And they mean that, by the way. Now, in some cases, however, a landlord can try it and a tenant would have to challenge it. So it's still a bit on the tenant to take action, but it's not like automatic where the city comes in or the state and says you can't evict them. But it wouldn't take long for a judge to rule against them. So what I want to know is this. Are you finding cases where landlords are selling previous rentals? They're getting out of the rental business. Have you found that in the Springs, Stephanie?
Yes.
You have, huh? They're getting tired of it, right?
They are, yeah. I actually met with some people recently who are going to list for that reason.
Because of the new laws.
Correct.
They're saying, look, because there is no such thing as a one-year lease. There really isn't. If you lease to someone, you must renew the lease unless there's a good reason. You must renew it. So why have more than a one-year lease? Or why even have, you can have a month-to-month, but even if it's a 6-month lease, you have to, I think it only affects leases a year or longer, I think, maybe I might be wrong, but it's the just cause law. And there are also some other laws involved in rental. And again, I don't think it's a bad thing that there are laws to protect renters. I think, though, that you're going to get to a point where you're going to defeat the purpose. You're trying to help renters, and it's going to hurt them. I think one of the biggest things that should be done for renters is what I believe is the wrongful withholding of security deposits. That happens more than you believe. Now, you might think, oh, Tom, they probably did it. They destroyed it. No, I think a lot of times landlords just keep it just because they can. And they give excuses a lot of times. And they have a carpet that should have been replaced years ago, and they keep charging people for it over and over. Now, most landlords are pretty good, honest people, right? I also understand there's a move against vacation rentals by owners, that a lot of people don't want them in their neighborhoods. And a lot of cities are requiring licensing and regulations. And I don't know if you ever got involved in that. Do you ever have buyers saying, I want to find a vacation rental or something that I can?
Not me personally, Tom, but I'll tell you, this year alone, I've helped a lot of people that had rentals that decided to sell them. I mean, a ton of them this year.
So you did have the same thing, landlords saying, I want to get out of it.
Oh, yes, a ton of them. In fact, I just closed a few and just listed a few. So, yes.
Right. They're getting out of the business.
Correct.
All right. Kachina, I'm not sure if we what we're going to do here, but Quentin,
I did leave a message.
We're trying to get a hold of your attorney, okay?
Yeah.
We left a message.
Yes, we did.
So you guys have to be patient. We'll get her on. It's a female, right? Female attorney?
Yes.
Okay. We'll get her on as soon as we can. So if you can hang in there. Again, I'm not sure what the grounds of the appeal was. They're upset it was rejected. And look, this isn't the first time a convict has said, I'm not guilty. But at the same time, many of them have been exonerated after years. It has happened, okay? Now, it's more rare that it happens, okay? I'm not saying that the courts get it wrong all the time, but they do get it wrong now and then. This has to, if you guys want to look up the case, by the way, you can just Google the name Sean, and it's S-H-U-N. So it looks like Shun, and it's Birch, B-I-R-C-H. And one of the articles is in Westward. Another one is in the archived Denver Post. And that's the one you don't have to pay for. And I guess it says that let's see, his defense attorney at the time was Frank. Wait, let's see. Who was the defense attorney on this case, Quentin or Sean?
Mandarin Bowers and Frank Moya. I had double counsel, but
now
Mandarin was
Frank
the
Moya.
head
Okay,
counsel.
now where are they nowadays? Have they ever tried to help you appeal?
I'm not sure where Frank is, but Mandarin, she's still practicing law. I mean, they're limited to what they could do based on where I'm at with the conviction and the post-conviction proceedings, other than testify on my behalf at a hearing.
Well, they can't testify for you, for goodness sakes. But what I want to know is
certain issues they can.
Did you write? You said you did write your own appeal. How did you learn to do that?
I've been in college to become a paralegal. Since I've been incarcerated, I've become a certified paralegal. And so based upon that helped with the knowledge to study the law and write these claims.
But you still haven't told me haven't told me the actual grounds for the appeal, the actual grounds.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Go ahead, get to it. Get to it right now, sir. Go on.
The statute 184202 subsection 1, that's first-degree burglary in Colorado. First-degree burglary has to have what's called a predicate inside of it for you to be convicted of anything pertaining to
You
that
were not
burglary.
convicted of first-degree burglary.
No, I wasn't. I was found not guilty. But the double jeopardy in this case is that they used the same first-degree murder that you're saying I was convicted of inside of the burglary. If you read the information I gave you, the jury instruction expounds on that.
Okay.
It gives specific instructions to the juror that, hey, this is the same murder count. This is the same murder count.
Okay.
It's specifically
Let me ask you. Let me
that.
just come right out and ask you this. Okay, I'm going to come right out and ask you this because I'm not your attorney. And George Brockler said that is not uncommon to be found guilty of the murder part of the burglary.
Well, if you said I did a burglary to commit the murder and I didn't do the burglary, how can I be guilty of the murder?
Because you did the murder. Because you did the murder. Because you didn't go. Because you didn't go in. Because you didn't go in there to steal. You went in there to kill.
And they found me not guilty of those elements. That's what I'm.
No, they found you not
explain to
guilty
you, the
of the
elements.
burglary. Look at Quentin. I mean, not Quentin. I'm sorry. Sean. This is. There's a reason you're being turned down. You know what? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result. I mean, if the courts turn you down, Sean, and you studied law, what does that tell you? It tells you to take another tact. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. What I am saying is the tactic you're using is not working. It's not working. You're using a tactic that almost everyone involved in law enforcement is telling me you're all wrong. You can separate that murder. You can. There does not have to be a burglary to be convicted of the conspiracy to commit murder and the murder part of it. George Brockler just said, a former district attorney and he's well respected. He said,
corruption to get to this point, ma'am.
Go get to what point? You never make a point. Make the point. Go ahead. Make the point.
The point is this: from the start of this case, the Bell case, it's been corruption in this whole case the whole time that I could prove. And I try to send you things that help with that. I don't know if you've read them.
I did read them. I want to know what corruption. Let's take one. Let's take one.
One of the corruption starts with Detective Humphrey from the beginning when they indict me on this case, where he's withholding exculpatory evidence that proves I didn't do the murder.
Quentin, I'm sorry. Get the name Quentin off of there, for God's sakes. I keep looking at it. I'm just going to take it off. Sean, let me just ask you this straight up, okay?
Yes,
straight up. What did he withhold?
Yes,
Let's just talk in English. What did he withhold?
He withheld a video of the only eyewitness telling them he's seen the killers. And he specifically said, I was not the killer.
Okay. That's that one piece. Hold on. That video of an eyewitness, that eyewitness did not testify in court. Is that right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Did your attorney ask?
He did not identify me.
Okay. So that guy on the video, not in the testimony in court, but on the video when he was interviewed by the detective, he said it wasn't Sean.
Correct.
Then why didn't your wait? Why didn't your attorney draw that out in cross-examination.
She did. She
So,
did. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
In court,
got it
hold
wrong.
on. In court, there's a transcript. In court, there's a transcript of the witness saying, the man I saw shoot him was not Sean.
Correct. He never identifies me as the shooter at trial.
Did he
Correct.
say it was not you?
Well, he couldn't say it was or was not me because the assailants wore masks, whoever did this crime.
Okay.
So he never seen.
I got it.
But he does give
Did
us-
he say,
gives us specific
Sean, you
detail
have to
about-
forgive me because I don't know about the case. So I know these sound like dumb questions. But did they say?
No, they don't.
Did they say? Did they say to him? Was it Sean? Was it his voice? I mean, did they make any kind of connection? How did they connect you to the scene? Were you there? Were you there?
No, I wasn't. I'm unequivocally innocent. I was not there.
You were not even. So there were three men. They arrested two of the right ones, but one wrong one. Or were none of those three? Like, what about your co-defendants?
None of the three. If they
All
got it
three
wrong
of the.
for me,
All
Tom,
you're
they got it
saying
wrong
all
for them.
three. Hold on. You and the other two were all innocent.
Found.
I'm only speaking on my behalf.
Yeah, but I'm asking you if
I
they
can only-
got it. Hold on, I need to know this, Sean. I need to know this. Were you the only one wrongfully convicted? Well, if you're not going to answer, okay, I'm sorry, can't do it unless you're going to answer me.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
Overall, the drive across town looking pretty good for most of our highways. In fact, we're pretty wide open up and down I-25 or I-70 across the city. A little heavy for traffic eastbound 270 from I-76 down towards Vasquez, but overall that trip across Commerce City not bad. Got a little bunching here westbound I-76 at Federal, C470, 6th Avenue, Boulder Turnpike.
I got nothing for you. I really wish I did.
Denver weather today, partly cloudy and a high of 87. It is 78 now. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Aaron O'Neill, 630 KHOW.
You know, this movie they made about Reagan, that actor, what's his name? He does such a good job.
They did one on Ronald Reagan?
It's in theaters now. You've heard the strategy to buy life insurance and overfund it, meaning you pay a higher premium on purpose in order to have a small life insurance policy, but mostly to build cash value that grows tax-free. It's a strategy some people use to, it's kind of like an annuity, but not. But it's for people who can't afford giant lump sums. So they overfund this life insurance, and then it grows to a cash value. And as they get older, they can actually borrow from it and pay it back. But as you get into your retirement, you borrow from it and don't pay it back. So you don't pay income tax on the money, and it's paid back by the life insurance proceeds when you die. It really is a solid strategy for some who want a retirement plan that outside of an annuity. It's called overfunding life insurance, basically. Find out more, becomethebanker.org. Becomethebanker.org, 303-779-6600. Hey, K&H Home Solutions, call them right now for the best windows on the market, but they also do everything from the roof siding, windows, gutters, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for. They have the Alpine window. I always talk about these windows because they're locally made, and they have been only commercial. Now they're doing residential, and K&H is the exclusive dealer. So call K&H for your Alpine windows or anything on the outside of your house. They do wonderful siding products and all kinds of stuff that enhance the beauty of your home and the energy efficiency. That's khwindows.com. khwindows.com. I've known these people for many years. 303-421-7100.
I could go to Chopper for some updates. That would break it up.
These Alpine windows, man, I wouldn't have anything else. I wish they were around when I built homes. They're made right here, so you don't have it. You have no exiting of gases. You have nothing. Everything is right here, never changes. Because those windows you bring from down at elevation, as soon as you get up here, those gases want to escape. They want to seep out. And they're cool windows. They're really nice. There was a window, and I'll bet you they're the same factory, made in Colorado years ago, called Alumax. Really good windows. I wonder if they're just the same. I wonder if they just changed their name. Alumax windows. There they are. Let me see. Or they might be different ones. Locally owned and operated.
You didn't see the sunglasses from Girl Dad, did you?
Alumax windows.
Nope.
Okay.
No. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Ask Chat.
Well, I don't mind chat, but I'm really just.
I don't think I brought some in at 4:45 this morning.
Copilot, it's really sucky.
Oh my God, he got here at 4:45.
Going back to
No, 5:45. Excuse me.
I just wish they had the verbal.
That's
I always
still
hear at 4:45.
ridiculous.
You have to type everything, and you have to read everything. A Copilot, I could be in my car and ask it a question, and it'll read to me, and you can verbally ask questions. I don't know why chat doesn't do that. I want to know what AI is going to do. Apple Intelligence, that's going to be awesome. And it should be built into every phone and every car. Nowadays, it's so ridiculous not to have it built in, right?
Yeah,
You should be able to say, Siri, what's it, blah, 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 blah. You shouldn't have to read or... But AI, with what they have right now, should be built into everything. I think it should be built into an appliance. For example, microwave, right? Why couldn't AI be in there where you say to the microwave, I have 3 pounds of frozen chicken. I need it defrosted and cooked.
Let it go.
Boom. Or I want to defrost 3 pounds of beef and keep it.
Our dog
I
has
just
been
want to defrost 3 pounds of beef, period.
basically
What's the best temp for this roast?
heavily dreaming to the point where
The technology
she
is there. I
has
ask
a
so
bed
many questions that
in
gets
Adam's office,
answers that you never would believe.
and
I mean,
she usually
the other
kind of
day-
lays
How do I
halfway
do
in
this?
and halfway out.
I had,
You know, like
We've seen that, yeah.
Yep.
I knew the
Because
model.
apparently that's comfy to
How
have
do
your
I
butt
blah,
up
blah,
in the
blah,
air
blah.
and your head down on,
Yep.
on a hard concrete floor or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
find out more from chat than I do in the
and
owner's
but she, you know, like
on that product.
yesterday,
And it's
Adam
like
took
that.
video because he was cracking up.
I
because,
use it. I
you know,
use
he'll be there
artificial
working, and then
intelligence.
all of a sudden he'll hear,
It's
"Arr!"
scary how much I use it.
"Arr!"
Now you can't use it.
You know, and
cannot use it for
looks
spiritual,
over, and she's like,
some science.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
you know,
Social
and he's like, "You go after that rabbit."
You get that squirrel. You get that squirrel. You kill him.
Yep.
Never do again. Learn more at regenrev.com. That's REGENREV.com.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. Chopper, what do you got going on? You got some updates. What are they?
Well, the first one is the company that used to be good that is horrible anymore.
Hold
They
on, let me
still
guess.
are.
Champion.
You got it.
Champion Windows.
Yes.
Champion is a story about a company that has been destroyed.
Yeah, we had a lady named Kay who's
They suck. And Champion, you know when it happened, they were bought up by some giant, big national company. Okay, go ahead.
She's a senior citizen, partially vision impaired. She had only three windows put in. She had to go to Champion because everyone else didn't want to just do 3 windows. She's been waiting now almost a year.
What's her name?
Kay.
When did she call?
I don't have it down, but it's been probably about 10 days.
Okay, got it. I'm looking for her right now. Go ahead.
And I called Champion, and I got we can't talk to you. And I said, hey, wait a minute, I'll do a conference call.
Good.
So we did a conference call. I have got the story that these screens...
Champion Windows, that she called August 9th? That can't be. Or is that another K with the same problem, where there were no screens?
Yes, that's the one. No screens.
You set up 10 days. It was August 9th, bro.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
We arranged it. The screens were being made. They were going to be put on a truck. They were coming this week.
Yeah.
We had to talk to like 12 different people to get that. Today, she just called me and said, Champion says, no, they're not made yet. They're on back order. And we don't know when they're going to get them. Kay's been very nice. We've kind of laughed about it, saying she'll probably get the screens after the first snow. You know what? I bought windows from Champion when they were a good company.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I tell people, in my humble opinion,
never
avoid them.
No, avoid them like the plague. No, Champion Window. I hate to say this. And the reason I hate saying it, I hate when a great company God, man, it just happens.
And then I have a second one.
All right, go ahead.
This was Aspen. I called on the 20th of October. 20th of August. This is, she was having a roofing deck, or I call it an awning, put on her house. And she contracted with a gentleman that me and you disagreed on the spelling, but it is Jefferson, like the aviation.
Jeppesen.
Yeah, Jeppesen. To do it. And he took $3,000. I've called
What was
him.
her first name?
I have Aspen on my notes.
Okay. Aspen, okay. That ought to be easy to look up. Go ahead.
And
yep,
he's gone.
Hired Josh Jepson.
Yep, he's gone. I've
to
called.
put a roof on her deck.
Yes.
She paid him $2,000 for materials and approximately 20 by 20. He showed up in August to complete the deck, but never did what? What did he leave undone?
Well, he never did the awning part. He did some inside work for her. That's how she got a hold of him.
He did something for her.
Yeah, a prior job. That's why she used him the second time.
To complete a prior job. Got it. The deck. Right. Got it. Okay. So, okay.
I've
so
called.
This guy's gone.
I've called. He's gone. I mean, I wouldn't say I did this, but I even called and said, hey, I got a job for you to do. He never called me back.
We got to put him on the sleaze brigade. How much does he have? $2,000 of her money?
I showed $3,000 according to her.
And does his phone still work?
His phone still work, but he doesn't call you back.
Do you get a voicemail?
You do get a voicemail.
Okay.
Sometimes it's full, but he must be going in it and emptying it.
What's his phone number? I want people to inundate it with voicemail telling him he's a crook.
970.
Yeah.
939.
Be nice when you call him a crook. 939.
0791.
Yeah. So here's what I mean. You don't have to be vulgar. Just say, look, we heard about you, Josh. We're going to let everyone know about you. You're a crook.
And he
970-939-0791.
He wasn't located by our referral list. He was that other good spot called Nextdoor.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. A lot of these clowns that go on Nextdoor, there's no way for them to check out people. They just can't. 970-939-0791. 970-939-0791. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
Josh.
what else going on?
I have one other one, but I'm going to hold off on that. That was an attorney that we told the lady to go to the Supreme Court committee on.
Grievance committee for an attorney. What's her name? Are you still working on it?
Yeah, we're still working on it because...
What was it about? An attorney took some money?
Yeah, he took from Regina, that's the name, took some money, signed some checks, and didn't give her all the money that he should have.
That's right. He took some settlement money.
Yes, the Supreme Court's looking into it.
Hold on. Good.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
We're looking at a fairly calm drive throughout the Denver metro for the early afternoon commute. I-25 north and southbound continue to show those highway speeds through town, as well as up north towards the Fort Collins area. Remaining north near the Brighton area, Highway 85 northbound, we've got a crash at 168th Avenue. Stop and go traffic back from Bridge Street. Back to town, heading east-west, I-70 east and westbound, flowing free to and from DIA, as well as out west into the high country. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mostly sunny skies, warm throughout the rest of the week with a high of 87, overnight low of 61 tonight, and tomorrow partly cloudy with a high of 91. The current temperature in Denver is 81 degrees. With your impact traffic and weather, Mark Swan, 630 KHOW.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
O'Brien Legal Services. That's OLSlaw.com. O'Brien, Brad O'Brien, is a real estate attorney. We have real estate people here today, and they'll tell you, you know what, it's not a bad idea to have an attorney look over documents when it comes to complicated deals, or if partners are buying a place, or owner financing, or there are so many number of things that you want them to look at. And O'Brien Legal Services is someone you should call. OLSlaw.com with any real estate issue, including, like, for example, if you're a commercial landlord and you want to do a big eviction, or you want to do something else, or you have a border dispute, easements, eminent domain, whatever it is, adverse possession, 720-370-7388. That's OLSlaw.com. Get your $39 first-time clean, extreme clean from Fix It 24/7. That's just $39. That's the extreme clean and check. They're one of the few people that actually truly open up this thing and clean it like a refurbishment. The $39 is only for first-time customers, and it's only during these special times when they're not that busy. And they also guarantee no breakdowns during the winter coming. So get your furnace clean and checked, extreme clean, 720-526-3939, fixmyhome.com.
We got to let this guy go.
You try the attorney one more time. Maybe she might answer.
Maybe she was at lunch.
Yeah.
You guys
We won't have much time here. We'll have about a minute and a half.
Shelby has
She can wait.
GPS navigation that
She'll
works.
just argue with you and say she can't be on with you again.
Don't you have to pay for that?
No, actually, no. No, I mean, do you? Actually, I don't pay for mine, no.
It just continually works?
Yeah.
I thought you had to pay for that.
No, I don't pay for mine. I come to think of it, I don't have a subscription to my car.
Oh, good.
I think you used to have to pay for the maps.
Yeah, that's what I thought, was.
But not anymore.
Now it's going straight to
Good.
Yeah,
I can leave my neighborhood.
No, you did have to. You're right. That we did have a time when you had to pay for that map overlay, didn't you?
Yeah.
I never thought of that, but it just comes in the car and it's on. And updates are automatic too. So GPS that's another thing. I don't even know how I existed without it.
I remember back in the day, I had the old Rand McNally map.
Oh my God!
That thing was my best friend.
But I just can't believe how much I use GPS.
Yeah.
I had Trip Ticket. Remember that from AAA?
Yeah.
You tell me you wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah, and they gave you a little book.
Yeah.
And the book would have the red lines on it.
Yeah, and you could see
and
where
then
you were
when
supposed
it
to
just
go.
continued on the next line.
I
That's
got you
right.
there.
That's right.
That's great.
Now try handing a map to a kid's this day. They'd never figure it out.
Microplastics infiltrating human brains.
Is this the thing that JR on YouTube talks about all the time? These plastics in water, these little
Yeah,
yeah.
right there. Nanoplastics. That's why that filtered water is there are people that, like I say, they buy organic and they're like so strict about what they put in their body except the water they drink. They'll just buy bottled water and drink it. Yeah. Crazy.
Do you drink protein shakes, Tom?
Not really, because I'd rather eat the protein.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great to have if you don't eat enough protein.
Yeah.
I kind of get enough protein.
Okay.
You're,
We've been trying the
you can see
plant-based
that on your-
protein.
I don't know if it's. I
Yeah.
feel it and it's itchy. I mean, like I said, I was so bad that I wasn't expecting miracles, but I know that there's a little something happening because it was really thin. You could see every bit of my scalp. Now you see a little bit of my scalp. You can still see it. We'll see what happens. It's only been a month. It's only been a month.
Now, will that fall out like natural, like your hair falls out eventually? Or?
I don't know. I don't know what it does. This is the first time I've ever ventured into the stem cell stuff for that. I mean, I got it at a discount. I mean, I had to pay for it but I'm going back for the retreatment Friday. So they say for real results, like it takes a full 6 months.
Well, we live in a day and age where they could do anything, you know.
I think there'll be a time when you're going to take a pill or something and it's going to grow like a son of a
Like a
bitch.
chia pet, man.
Yeah.
Brothers podcast, joining the program with his take on the ever-changing landscape of the 2024 race for president. Our flight departs at 2, so get on board here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. And again, look, we're gonna revisit this a little. We're running out of time, and I really let me just say this right up front. I don't even know what I would do if I'm sitting in prison and I didn't think I was guilty, but there are so many people say, don't waste your time on this, blah, blah, blah. And I say, what harm is it doing? It's doing no harm. And on the outside possibility, this guy's got a case. What the hell? I mean, what is it? It's not doing anything harmful to me to talk to Sean. I mean, I know that if I was in prison and I wanted somebody to listen to me, it would be a good thing. So again, we have such limited time in between, and it's amazing to me he can be on the phone, and I hope he can hang, because I just want to ask some very basic questions that our attorneys asked me to ask him. Again, they won't come on, and we're still trying to get a hold of his attorney. Plus, we have a real estate discussion going on. Then we have any consumer problems, questions, and complaints. 303-713-TALK.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can...
Hey, what's the weirdest thing, Stephanie, you've run across where you knew when you walked in, oh shit, this is going to be a problem to sell? Anything weird? Like that people did to a house?
Not necessarily things people have done, but I definitely have had a lot of unique properties.
I imagine there's decor that you say, oh shit, no.
Oh yeah, when you have when you walk and it's like taxidermy, like real heavy, like eyes. We definitely suggest we maybe minimize some of that a little bit, to make it appeal to the masses.
So when you say weird properties, like what?
I've just had some unique ones. Like, recently I had one listed that was over 7,000 total square feet, but it was set up where it was two properties under one roof line, connected, not a duplex, but connected by a breezeway. So, which is kind of neat.
That's kind of cool.
It is, but it's a very specific buyer that's willing to
What was in one part
buy
and what
something.
was in the other? Was it just two complete houses?
Like a 2-2 and then a,
Were they like two kitchens, two everything?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. Why did they do that, I wonder?
So they did it probably for multi-generational living. It was a custom-built home, so probably a multi-generational type setup, which would be great. But again, it's a very specific buyer, so that made it a little challenging.
What kind of home, Stephanie?
I had one that was set up for like a multi-generational buyer. It was two complete homes.
One roof line?
Yeah, one roof line to fit on the acreage requirements for the area. But it was very unique, so that was kind of a unique setup, connected by a breezeway.
Properties, I asked her, where you walked in and thought, oh, this might be a problem.
Oh, Tom, I don't. I've got so many.
I know Frank has gotten hoarders. That is one of the worst.
Oh man.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I had one that was really bad.
You just have to be honest with him on that. If they're hoarders.
You know which one I'm talking about too. That was really bad. Mark laughed at me all day for that one because I recorded it and I was really nervous. And the lady says, "And there's mold down. You're gonna have to wear a mask." And she had all these animals, man, in this one room, and you had to climb over stuff to get to one room to the next.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough.
Well, how do you even? I mean, you tell these people, look, you're gonna.
I haven't listed one like that, but I've shown one like that.
Oh, shown one.
Yes. So I actually took a buyer into one, and this was before the N95 masks were a thing and all of that, and the listing note said we had to, go and wear N95 masks, protective gear, some type of firm denim and
just
boots in our feet. And it was like, so we knew going into it, it was a very interesting ordeal, and we did, and sure enough, you're walking through, you're stepping over, you go in, and
Is it even worth some of these houses fixing it up?
that one went, that one was listed crazy low and went like 125,000 over. This has been a while ago, but yeah.
Some of them might tear down the house and just buy the land.
Well, it was a great location,
Yeah.
and they priced it, to entice that. But yeah, we walked through, and my buyer, she was a female investor. She draws walking through the house. It's just she and I. The doors open. When we get there, it was pretty creepy, pretty interesting. So.
Frank, you brought in a good point. I know you'll have an opinion on this. If your house is valued at $750,000, you really don't need to insure it for that because you can't destroy the land.
No, that's right.
I mean,
No,
maybe
but when
500,000.
They do homeowners based on certain things not being destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's not the work. It's not the appraisal you're insuring. You're insuring the replacement value.
Replacement.
Which in some strange cases can exceed the appraisal because of building materials and shit. There are some rare cases where replacement is more than the house appraisal. Then there are others where usually the appraisal is way above, sometimes way, way above, because the house is a piece of crap.
Mm-hmm. Flood insurance, does that shy people away? Or do you disclose that?
Oh, you disclose.
Of course, we disclose that.
If you need flood insurance and it's in a floodplain,
Yeah, but not a lot of them aren't.
It's federally subsidized.
Yeah, but it is.
So
I needed it.
expensive.
I actually had to pay off my house to avoid the flood insurance was outrageous.
Not if it's in a floodplain.
I was in a flood. I was in a
I thought the
floodplain.
federal subsidy brings it down to like a normal
Oh no,
premium, no?
I was running $3,000-4,000 a year for flood
Just
insurance.
for flood? And that was federally subsidized?
I don't know if it's federally. It's what I had to pay to get flood insurance because I had a mortgage. Once the mortgage goes away, you don't need it.
Right. It's up to you at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
You need it.
You
You
need
need
it.
it, but it's up to you if you want to risk it.
Yeah.
you take all the risk.
The creek never came out of its creek.
I showed one this summer, and they were in a floodplain, and the current owner's flood insurance was $6,000 a year. Ultimately, my buyer's like, huh.
It's expensive.
Same thing. It was by a creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it can be substantial.
Can anyone find a cost estimator for Excel roofing? That's on YouTube. Isn't that on their website?
Xactimate, isn't that what they use?
Everyone uses Xactimate usually.
How's that spelled?
I think it's called Xactimate, right? Or is it called Exactimate? I don't think it's called Exactimate, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
saw it the other day for some reason.
But did they let the public use it?
Not that I'm aware of, no. I tried EXA.
No, it's
CT.
XA. It's
XA?
Xactimate. Yeah, it's not Exactimate. It is Actimate, but it's pronounced Xactimate. 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 And it says, let's see, Xactimate.com. It lets you sign in, create an account. So I guess the public could possibly use it.
I sent it to him.
Zactimate.com.
The award-winning premiere of the movie Lionheart at the historic Paramount Theater in Denver.
I haven't tried going on there and see how they do that. They take out bird's eye view of your house too.
Purchased at Ticketmaster.com/Lionheart.
I gotta figure out. You know what's really weird is as I get older, trying to figure out what I want to shed and when I want to shed it. You know what I mean? Get rid of shit. I definitely want to get rid of some stuff. I've been getting rid of stuff over the years.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Welcome to the show. We're talking real estate today. I got Frank Duran, the realestateman.com on with me, and also Stephanie Thomas, and she's StephanieRE.com, and she's in the Springs area up to like Castle Rock. And Frank is all around the metro area, north. And how far do you go into the mountains, Frank, if anything? How far up?
So I go as far as Golden to the west and as far as Kingsburg to the east.
And how about north?
Firestone to Castle Rock and everything in between.
And then, Stephanie, how far west do you go down there? You go to Woodland Park?
Yeah, absolutely. I do Teller County, so Woodland Park Divide, Cripple Creek. I will go a little bit into Park County, but typically not as far as, like Fairplay or getting too far out there.
Mountain properties are pretty specialized, I think.
They are.
I really do. Just like some rural properties, but mainly mountains have very special kinds of problems. How are we coming on finding this guy's attorney to come on and address the rejection?
So we've left a message, and her phone is going straight to voicemail.
I wonder if she doesn't want to be on. He said he had to fill out a release, and he did, so we could talk. And I want to attempt to ask some questions of him. Now, for people listening, Sean is doing a life sentence plus 48 years. So that's a big deal. And he was convicted of first-degree murder, and he was charged with burglary. And I didn't read the charge. I'm just going, George Brockler tried to explain it to me. But I don't actually have the charging document. I have articles I'm reading, okay? And I'm really not familiar with the case, and it was many years ago. But basically, the article says a second man, at the time, 29-year-old Sean Birch, has been convicted of murdering a witness. In 2006, I left out the name of the witness, doesn't matter. He was one of 3 men charged with the killing. So you see, and perhaps the least known, and it says reputed gang leader Brian Hicks was found guilty last month. Now, this is going back to this article dated 2011. And then it says, Willie Clark, previously convicted of killing Broncos cornerback Darren Williams. Anybody remember that? Jack, you were a cop back then, right?
2006, I wasn't. That was the end.
No, this was, okay, yeah. Okay. Is also charged with murdering Clark. So they were all charged with it. Now, that doesn't mean that any of them or any one of them pulled the trigger. As George Brockler explained, former district attorney, former talk show host, and man about town explained, you can be just there and part of it and face the same consequences as the person who pulls the trigger. But they were also, but Sean was also charged with burglary, first-degree burglary, and felony murder. Again, he was found not guilty of first-degree murder, of first-degree burglary and felony murder. That is one charge. But then there were two other charges, first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Now, somehow Sean believes because he was found not guilty of the first-degree burglary and felony murder, he couldn't possibly be guilty of the first-degree murder and conspiracy. And again, I have not talked to one or texted one legal expert that agrees with that and would never, ever, ever, ever try to appeal that. So Sean's on his own, and he'll never win. But he mentioned something else. And you've heard of cases being overturned when it's shown that maybe evidence was withheld. Well, he said that a video was withheld of a witness who said they couldn't identify the shooter or they couldn't identify the man or whatever. But in court, that person testified, and I was wondering why his defense attorney didn't get the information that it wasn't him. Again, I am so confused about this that I want to ask such basic questions, it's going to be very silly for someone familiar with the case, but I need to. So, Sean, I just need to ask questions. You have to bear with me, and I really can't have you making speeches right now. I really need to know this. Okay. So you were one of three people convicted here. And you're saying you weren't even there. You weren't there for any part of this at all. Not one part of it.
Any part at all.
Okay, got it. Hold on.
Not one part.
I get it. And you said all three men wore masks. What I'm asking you, do you know if the other two people are saying they were not there either?
They also said they're innocent too.
Are they saying they were not there?
Correct. They're
Okay.
saying they weren't there.
Okay. During the time this allegedly took place, what is your alibi?
Now this is a cold case. I know I wasn't there, but can you tell me where you were 10 years ago?
No, but it wasn't 10 years ago. I am positive you had to have gone through this with a defense attorney.
Data records.
The very first thing, the conviction may have been 10 years ago, but sir, if I was on trial for my life and my attorney was trying to establish I wasn't there, I would remember my alibi.
Right. Well, I didn't do it. That was my alibi.
But did the police, did your attorney ask you if you had an alibi back then?
I believe she did. Yes, she did.
Do you remember telling your attorney, no, I couldn't have done it. I was out having drinks with Harry. I mean,
I said I was at work or at home.
Okay.
Because I worked and I just went at home. I mean.
Okay. Now, what I want to know is this then. But you have no idea.
Yes, sir.
You have no idea if the other two men are guilty or not, right? You have no idea.
Well, I know they pleaded not guilty as I did.
Okay. Are they still maintaining?
Can I refer you to my website, Tom? That way you guys can get more details.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'd love it. What is it? Yeah, I'd love it.
It's called The Elements of a Wrongful Conviction at change.org.
Oh, my God.
And
that's
so
the whole, hold on. That's why no one will find that in a search engine. The element of
a wrongful conviction, a wrongful conviction. The elements of a wrongful
Did you make
conviction.
this website?
My team did.
And where did you get this team?
Well, it's the team of family members.
Well, that's wonderful that you got all that support. It says it can't. I'm typing it in as carefully as possible, and it says can't be reached. The element of a wrongful conviction.org.
At change.org.
Oh.
At change.org.
At change.org. Okay.
Yes, sir.
At change. Wait, the at sign or the word at?
Yeah, the at sign. The at sign.
Change. I've never seen an at sign in a URL. Okay, bro, I'll do it, but I'm not saying, hold on. It's not coming up like you're saying. It just isn't.
Change.org is the website.
What?
There you go.
Oh, wait. Change.org is the...
called change.
Okay, and then the element of a... Okay.
Of a wrongful conviction is the title of my page there.
I got it. Okay, so we have to
I'm
first...
sorry, I've been incarcerated, Tom, so I don't know what it looks like.
Okay, so first we have to go to change.org to find it.
Correct.
Hey, somebody brought up a good... I'm getting... I am getting texted while you're talking, and it says here... somebody wants to know what do you want? I mean, in other words, why are you calling me? What can I do?
I wanted to get my story out there because I don't have a voice in prison. Like, they've been trying to silence this case the whole time.
Okay,
There's no...
I hear you now. You want to get the word out. I have change.org. How do I find your page on here?
So you type in the elements of a wrongful
But
conviction.
where do you type it in? Because there's nowhere to type it in. Wait, is there a search? Where's the search? Over on the right?
Top corner.
I got it. Hold on. I'm gonna have to take a break. Hold on, Sean. Heather, what's going on with you? I don't want to make you wait this whole time. You say you were given the wrong medicine in an ambulance? Heather? Can we try to connect with Heather? She's not coming up right now, please.
Heather, we just went to you. I don't know what happened.
But I do know that if I could get one person to listen to me, if I truly had a case, like I said, what harm would it do to listen
hang
to
on
this
for me, okay? He'll be right with you.
I got it.
Oh my God.
Okay, element of a wrong. I'm gonna look
Why
at
is
it.
Dave just gone from complete?
Elements of a wrong.
And is it like, when you searched it? Okay, got it.
Let me see if you got the same one. Yeah, she said the same thing.
You've heard me talk about investment strategies that are guaranteed in writing. One of them is mymoneymyway.com. It's a fixed indexed annuity. And I want to say something straight up. There are some annuities that are terrible for people. There are other annuities that are great for people. It's not the annuity that is good or bad. It's your circumstances. So if you have a lump sum of money that you want to invest later in life because you can't take the risk of the stock market, perhaps a fixed indexed annuity can work. I say perhaps. I want you to explore it. And again, you can't be any more transparent than that, but you may love it. It's guaranteed. mymoneymyway.com. Hey, another thing you need to explore: estate planning, a will. Maybe you need a trust, maybe a combination of that. But here's what I love about Keelan Park. They'll go over your life, your estate, what you own, what you're invested in, all of your heirs, everything you need. And then what you need to do then is get them to go over this complimentary and come up with a price for you, and they will. They'll say, Tom, you need this, this, and this. This is what it'll cost. Minimally, you should do this. This is what that'll cost. And if you want to do the whole Monty, you can do this, this, and this. They come up with plans and prices, flat rate. So you'll know the price. You don't beat that for estate planning. Keelan Park. That's lawkp.com. 970-818-8198. You want to save money? I'm telling you this right now. No one can do water heaters as cheaply as this. I'm talking about
All right, Heather, do I still have you?
Colorado.net.
Okay,
You'll never
hold
get
on
one
for
more
me.
inexpensively than there. And they're quality water heaters, 6-year warranties. Euro Plumbing, Colorado.net. $13.99 for a 40-gallon tank fully installed. The old one taken away. $14.99 for a 50-gallon tank. No matter what size you want, they'll beat any price. 303-668-6844, 668-6844. Go ahead.
Depending upon how far you want to go with this, I could reach out to Joe Humphreys and see if he wants to comment.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, what the hell? I would like elements of a. Are you reading about it, Stephanie?
Yeah, it just.
Is it still more and more bullshit?
It's just what he's saying about.
There's nothing
the detective.
He's kind of hanging it on
how
the
they
detective.
withheld
yeah.
information.
But I didn't understand the part about the judge saying.
And then they explain what the evidence is.
Exculpatory evidence.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Yeah, I did traffic tickets. I never lost it. But I do know Detective Humphreys, and he was a straight shooter. I'll reach out to him.
He's saying, long story short, they didn't turn it over for 3.5 years, and this is a Brady violation and requires.
I don't know
conviction
what the
be
Brady violation. I thought that was a gun violation. The Brady Act.
That's not, by any means my area. And then it pretty much just wants you to sign his petition to go to the governor.
Well, at least I'll let people read this if he wants.
It's interesting. It's better than HOA.
I wouldn't. Where's this guy in prison? I wouldn't mind visiting.
Sterling. Sterling, Colorado.
I mean.
Sterling.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Email.
What I don't understand is this: he still doesn't give any. Oh wait, we can click the evidence thing.
Who's moving the camera? Chopper. Chopper moved the camera. Yep. I think his chair bumped into it.
He actually has the video.
Would knock him upside the
He
head.
actually has the video here.
Where's that at?
Under evidence?
Yeah, and he's saying, "Hold on, man."
I clicked that and it says error. Don't.
I'm gonna go look at this.
Oh, did I hit that? Yep, you did. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, man.
Where did you find the video?
Wait a minute. Now on this one makes me log in, for God's sakes. Why didn't it do it before?
There's a membership here.
You probably,
it wants to charge you for membership.
We probably can't go into it.
A wrongful
conviction.
I want to look at this video.
Can you get to the video?
Yeah, I see a link for Facebook.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. By the way, I went to this website on one computer that shows a video. I'm trying to find it on the other. Anyway, oh yeah, there it is. So on this thing, he actually has, where the hell did you, Sean, let me ask you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Let me ask you, where did you get this video?
This came from the corrupt DA. And
well, wait a minute. Why would a corrupt DA show you exculpatory evidence that he withheld? I don't get that part.
Because, let me explain that to you, Tom. Another DA took over the case and turned the video over.
Did this other DA, did the other DA feel this should have been in court?
Yes, that's why.
But here's what I don't understand. I'm playing the tape.
Yeah.
Hold on. This guy is talking about who he saw kill his wife.
Correct.
Well, if you guys were all wearing masks, I'm not saying you, but the three people that were there were all wearing masks. How does he know they have the wrong people in custody?
You have to watch the video. He tells you why. He says that it looked like the guy that was the shooter if he fit the description to the T. If you listen to the video, he describes.
I'm listening.
Like he's.
Remember,
I want to tell people how they can see this video. Listen, I want to tell people how to get to this site in case they want to sign your petition. Because as I said this, Sean, look, you're sitting in jail for life plus 48 years. You're convicted of murder. Right. You're saying you're innocent. What I said is this. I'm not doing any harm by letting you get your story out. For God's sakes, if I was in prison and I felt like I was wrongly convicted, I for sure would love at least someone listening to me. So I'm going to give out the website.
For that, Tom.
Well, there's not going to do any harm, right? I mean, I don't know if you're innocent. I just know this. It's not going to do any harm exploring it. Okay, so here's what it is. Go to change.org. That's the name of the website, change.org. Once you get there, you go up to the top right, and there's a drop-down menu, and you can do a search. When you search, put in elements of a wrongful conviction. I imagine you could probably even put his name in there. I don't know. But once you put elements of a wrongful conviction in there, then you can scroll through this and read about the case. But the one part where you see if you look very closely, it's hard to see because it doesn't look like a link. It just looks like a bold-face headline. Above the QR code, there's something that's written in boldface, exculpatory evidence. If you click on that headline, exculpatory evidence, or that bold-faced, well, I call it a headline. If you click on that or a heading, it'll take you to the video where the guy's sister, the sister's brother, the victim's brother.
Her husband.
Oh, her husband.
That's her husband.
The victim's husband is explaining who shot his wife. And I didn't see it yet. I didn't listen to it yet totally. But you're claiming.
Wait till you watch it.
You're claiming that in this video, he says
that's the
what?
lead detective, Joel Humphrey, and
right.
D.A. Carpool.
What does he say that exonerates you?
He says where he's seen the killers and he describes what they look like.
But they were wearing masks.
In the video, well, there's some descriptive information about he says the shooter had long hair, that of a Caucasian or Mexican male. And I don't have hair. I never had long hair until I came to prison. But my hair is not of that texture.
Did any of the other suspects match the descriptions of the people?
No. Their hair is.
But how?
Is like
let me ask you this: how is it that police arrest 3 wrong people? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Well, we have to look back to the Central Park 5. That didn't make sense, but I mean, they arrested 5 black males in that case.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I'd
Go
heard
ahead,
earlier
Dragon.
that-
Wait, what, Dragon?
I thought I'd heard earlier that this gentleman in the video
corruption, Sam.
was on the stand and was being asked
Yeah, that's
questions.
okay. That's another thing. So
Right.
this guy that's in the video, right? He also took the stand. He also took the stand, right?
Correct. He testified. At
Well,
trial.
then why didn't
Why
he
all the
say
hubbub
on the
about the video?
stand, "You got the wrong people in custody"?
I don't like
he took a plea
Once he-
deal. Remember,
yeah,
Detective Humphrey.
He was facing drug charges himself. So
Detective
he took
Humphreys,
a
when
plea
he's
deal.
trying to tell him, hold on, fam. When he's trying to tell Detective Humphreys who he thinks the killers are, they're so infatuated with already investigating Sean, they say we're not going to turn this over. At the end
Hey,
of the
Sean,
case.
let me
So they
Sean,
wanna
let me
hide
ask
this
you something.
instead of
Sean,
investigate.
let me ask you something. Are you able to get visitors where you are?
Yes, I am.
So I could come and I would be able to visit you.
Yes, if you get on my visiting list, you can. You can come and see me. Yes, you can.
And that's
I'd encourage you.
in Sterling, Colorado.
Because I can prove this. It's just a voluminous case, man. I need somebody to
Sean, just
investigate
wait a sec.
corruption of these
Let me ask you something. Do you know if they would allow you to take a lie detector test?
I don't know if they would allow that here, but I know they would allow you to come and see me.
Okay.
I can find out.
Anyway, do me a favor and make sure that I have your uncle's in. It's your uncle, the one on the phone with you, right?
No, it's my cousin.
Your cousin. Make sure your cousin, Kachina, make sure I get this cousin's contact info. So, guys, when you go to the website, change.org, you put in the search for elements of a wrongful conviction, and then go down to above the QR code and click on the heading that says exculpatory evidence. That'll bring you to a video where this guy's being interviewed by the lead detective. Again, I don't have time to do it right now completely. I haven't seen it. But according to Sean, that will point enough doubt to his guilt, and it would have if they allowed it in court. The problem is, what I don't understand, why would they put this guy in the stand if he said in the video, you were the wrong people? And why didn't he say that on the stand? Again, I have all these questions, but I will look into it. I promise you, and I can't promise I'm going to get your conviction overturned, but as I said, it's not going to be any harm looking into this. Now, Heather, I need to talk to you, Heather. What kind of wrong medicine were you given in the ambulance?
Hi, Tom. I was given ketamine. Hi, Tom.
Hi. Now, when you say you were given ketamine, were you in the ambulance voluntarily, or was this some kind of an arrest or some kind of a drug thing? Or tell me what happened.
No, so I had really bad cramps from my woman time, and so I wasn't ever given ketamine in the whole, since I've had existence.
No, I got it. So you were having cramps and called for an ambulance?
Yeah, that's how bad they got. But they never gave me pain medicine with ketamine. Hi, Tom, and I hope you're doing great, and I miss you so much.
Okay, now who said that?
Who said what?
Did you just say, hi, Tom, I miss you so much?
Yes, that was me.
Do I know you?
Yes, you know me. You helped me with my mom when she died.
Oh, remember? I remember you. You were
buddy.
You were a mess, Heather.
I was, and now I'm doing really good.
All right, hold on. Hold on, Heather. I'll come right back to you.
This is.
That totally was.
I think it was. A couple days ago.
I want to go home. I really want to go home.
Super blue full moon.
I can help that young lady when her mom died. She was.
Oh my God.
She didn't know what to do. She was facing homelessness, everything. She did come around. She's not crazy, but she is highly, let's put it maybe prone toward anxiety and stuff. My daughter called.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're normally better with
Shouldn't have got out of bed.
Ken got a flat. He said, do you know EVs don't come with a spare? No cars come with a spare anymore.
He said
mine doesn't have a spare.
We got a donut.
Oh, tell the donut. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's 3/4 moon or something.
Well, that's not enough to bring out the crazy. That just brings out the half crazy like Frank and Stephanie.
Oh, no.
The full crazies wait.
Tom, every time I have to leave, there's a problem on something. I had an inspector at a house, and they lost.
Hold on, guys. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney I hope you never need. Here's what I love about him, though, if you do need someone. If you're injured in an accident for any reason, or you're injured and you believe somebody else is responsible, let's put it that way, call him for free legal advice, for evaluation of your case, and then for the next steps. There's no obligation. He'll talk to you. And then when you find out what to do, if one of those things is hiring him, he works on a percentage fee basis. And there's never out-of-pocket money. But call first and get your free information. Again, no obligation. 303-597-4500. That's John Fuller, Fuller Law, 303-597-4500, personalinjuryco.com.
It's the Sean Show. We're just going to rename it.
Do you think
I didn't do it with
it's
Sean.
more beneficial giving out your phone or your website in general commercials?
Website.
Me too, because I think people don't remember phones.
Yeah.
And they only Google you anyway, or they go online.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's right?
Yeah, website is good.
Yours is Stephanie R.E. Boom.
Yep.
If people can read, some people are going to spell Stephanie all kinds of weird ways.
Right. I have a couple other domains too. We're actually in the process of playing with my website right now. Kind of redoing it all.
I didn't get convicted for burglary, so I shouldn't get convicted for murder.
For murder. Yeah. I mean, that's his whole premise right now.
I mean, is he hoping for a technicality because they withheld the video. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because the guy who was in the video was on the stand and gave testimony.
Is somebody giving him some false hope or something? That's the
But if we're in
only
his
thing.
shoes, we're clinging on to any hope that we can if you're innocent. So you're taking anything.
But he's literally saying that he didn't do
You
the
just
murder.
missed your commercial.
But there's evidence.
There must be.
You don't just convict
there must
somebody for life plus 40 years.
There must be overwhelming evidence, especially if somebody was on the stand and said, no, he didn't do it.
Right.
So there's other stuff that was said that it hurts. My brain hurts.
I already took 4 ibuprofen. It's not even remotely cutting through what I need. Meanwhile, my kid still is testing positive for COVID.
No, she's not.
She is.
No, she's not.
She can't friggin' practice golf.
It's one of those store brand tests. She's not. Go to the doctor and get a test.
Wait.
It'll come back negative.
I tend to agree with you because all she has is a little cough and a little bit of a scratchy throat. Like, then go to friggin' class! What are you talking about? Get your ass out on the golf course, okay?
So he does say there are two different.
So we went from Sean, who's been on the entire show, to Heather, who he told, "Oh, you were a mess." I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Uh-huh.
This guy's wife was just killed, and he's talking like this, man. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Anyway, aren't they supposed to release tapes like this from witness interviews during discovery to the defense attorneys? I mean,
I think that's where he's hung up on because he believes this tape was withheld from evidence. So that's why he's trying to get on some kind of
I got to ask Sean that real quick here. Sean, did your attorney have access to this video before they went before you went to trial? Did Sean hang up? He might have because we got his information. It does sound really strange that, I mean, if this videotape was never made available to defense, it would have definitely led the defense to ask other questions. I mean, this guy was talking about people that he says he knew them from the mall and other things. I mean, and this is the victim's husband saying, oh yeah, this guy's got hair like this and it was like this, and I saw them later on at the mall and they remembered me from that night. They didn't have their mask on, but I knew it was them. And he didn't indicate they were the ones in custody at this point. I'm going to look at the rest of the tape. But here's what all I'm saying is this. If this tape was really done, I mean, not really, it was done. If this tape was withheld from discovery, I don't know how much prosecutors have to give or police have to give to defense attorneys? I really don't know criminal law.
Either way, that gentleman was on the stand and gave testimony there.
Yeah, but he's not going to volunteer it. He can only answer questions. But here's what I'm saying, Dragon. If this guy was on the stand, the last thing I would ask him is, was my defendant there? I mean, was my guy there? I mean, I wouldn't, because you never ask a question you don't know the answer to, right? So that's for sure. So therefore, I wonder if the defense attorneys had access to this tape. The other question is, are they required to have access to all evidence? I don't know. I was always, from all the movies and stuff, I'm serious when I say this. I don't know anything about criminal law. I don't know what are you supposed to turn over all evidence? And if they did withhold this interview because it didn't sound very good, I mean, that could be a problem. That's what I'm going to look into. It's the only thing I can look into. Look, I mean, obviously, you can't just take his word. I wasn't there. And anyway, Heather, your turn. Heather, again. Now, I know Heather from years ago. I helped her out when her mom died, and she has since come a long way. How and then you had some cramps. You called an ambulance, and I've never heard of people. It must be that bad. Have you ever had female cramps before that were that bad?
Yeah, but they never gave me ketamine, Tom.
Wait. But I want to ask this. You have had cramps where you called paramedics before?
Yeah.
So does this happen every time you get your period, or is this something special or different?
Yeah, it happens every time.
Have you ever seen an OBGYN?
Yes, I have polycystic ovary syndrome.
Oh, so you have a lot of cysts on your ovaries.
Yes.
I knew someone who had that, and they had such terrible pain. One would burst now and then. It would send them to the stratosphere. So what you're saying is you called paramedics. They came with an ambulance. And how do you know they gave you ketamine?
Because they said it when I was getting out of the ambulance and they were transporting me into the emergency room. And he said, I'm administering 18 something. I heard him say 18.5 something of ketamine. And he seemed like he was kind of a new paramedic, but the other one knew me already. So once I hit the emergency room doors, I just remember passing out, of course, because it was medicine and an IV. But Tom, I seen my mother even.
Okay,
it scared the crap out of me.
Now,
like
Heather,
it made me
Heather,
feel like I
hold
was
on.
dead.
Heather, I know you trust me, so I just have to say something. I'm going to say this up front so I don't make you go through this whole story. I want to just say this. I want to say, for argument's sake, you're correct. They gave you ketamine, and they thought that was appropriate for some reason, and it wasn't. And you had a terrible reaction. Were you permanently injured from it?
Yes.
How?
My memory loss and my hands going numb now all the time. I can't even work as a mechanic like I have for 21 years.
You're saying that one administration of ketamine destroyed your hands?
It destroyed my life. It scared the crap out of me. It made me
Yeah,
feel
but
like
Heather,
I
I don't know if that can happen. I don't know if anyone in the world would ever take a case like this. And first of all, it wouldn't be malpractice because it's not outside of the standard of care, okay? It's not.
Not because I didn't die, I know.
Let me explain what outside the standard of care would be giving you, I don't know, candy cane or something. What I'm saying is that ketamine is not unheard of in these situations. And if it was a tool in their arsenal and a doctor said, try ketamine, or they radioed the doctor said this, whatever, and you happen to be someone who reacted badly to it, they aren't, that is not negligent. That is not necessarily malpractice. I shouldn't say it's not negligent. I don't know. And no one would know unless you really explore it. But all I'm saying is this. In addition to, not only do you have to have someone acting wrong or outside the standard of care, there also has to be some kind of lasting damage. You're trying to make the case there is. But nowhere, anywhere have I seen one dose of ketamine that could cause this damage. So did a doctor ever tell you that one dose of ketamine could do this to you?
No.
That's another element you need to take action. You need a doctor to confirm that what they did caused this or could cause it. Heather, it could be that you're just having a terrible psychological reaction to this, and it's affecting you. It's not necessarily something wrong with you physically. Is that possible?
Yes, I understand.
So how long ago did this happen, Heather?
Like 2 weeks ago.
And you hallucinated and saw your mom?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you talk to her?
I don't remember. I just remember being like I died and I seen.
Yeah. So that's what it felt like. Did you have nightmares?
Yeah,
after
I
that?
still do.
After that? Right now, do you have nightmares about it?
Yes, I can't sleep because my hands always go numb now. So I was like, I gotta call my friend Tom.
But do you think, have you seen any doctors about your hands going numb?
No, I haven't yet, but I had to let go of my job, and I remember that day that I had got the ketamine. I stayed in the emergency room for 4 hours, and the doctor wanted to give me more medicine for pain, and I said, no, I'm not comfortable with it because it's still coming off, and then no one came back to remove my IV, so I removed it my damn self. I said, you guys have given you warning. I'm going to leave, and if no one comes in here, I'm going to take you this out myself. And no one came.
Let me ask you something. Do you have tingling in your feet and legs as well, or just your hands?
No, just my hands.
And do they go?
I lost all feeling from my hands.
How often do they go numb?
Like every 10 minutes.
And this wasn't happening before?
No, because I was working as a mechanic, remember? For 21 years.
And you can't do that anymore?
Can't do it anymore. I removed my engine. I can't even put my engine back together because my hands.
Heather, I want to, Heather, hold on. I want to try to get somebody on to talk about this tomorrow. It's too late to get someone on now. Hey, Kachina, can you make sure we have Heather's information, please? Heather, the reason I want to get your information, I'd rather get an expert on rather than try to be an expert on this. I doubt ketamine could have done that to you, but we'll ask some people, and then maybe Deputy Doc has some people we can ask, or maybe he knows, and he also...
Think that they would give me a horse tranquilizer. Like, what are you doing?
Well...
Jesus.
Listen, ketamine has been used for a long time. It just hasn't been in the news. It's been used a long time.
They never used any of this medicine before.
No,
they used every other medicine in the book, but this one. You know, why now?
I don't know if someone can have a sensitivity to ketamine that would give them permanent damage to their nerves in their hands or something. When your hands go numb, do you get any kind of tingling in the rest of your arms?
A little bit just on my wrist part, but see, I mean, it's probably from working as a mechanic for all this time. I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to, I know that the ketamine killed that kid, and I know that it's a horse.
I understand, but it's not what you think. I mean, I'm not saying ketamine should be taken willy-nilly, but it's not a drug that stays with you. It really isn't. Hold on a sec. Kachina, let's get her on tomorrow and try to get an expert. I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming up.
So we can give it to Ryan.
Okay, so that's 72041.
I wonder where this picture was taken in. That looks really cool.
What are we talking about?
Like Ireland or something? I don't know. It's the screensaver. It's all green, and they're like these green steps on these hills.
It's one of the ones that Xfinity puts on.
Screensavers are amazing.
I'm only getting about every
That's really nice.
I don't know if you have me on a speakerphone.
Okay. Man, it's been a crazy show, guys. Thanks for sitting through some.
Goes by quick.
I will tell
Well, you should be here when it's just me and him. Yeah. It doesn't go by quick.
I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, okay? All right, no problem, Heather. Okay.
DiscountBath.com. Man, are these people setting the world on fire with discounts on baths. What I mean by this is normally baths are very expensive, but the way they cut their profit and do their system online to give you pricing is a great, great tool. If you go to discountbath.com, they'll give you a link that you can upload video. They'll give you a price without having to meet with you. 720-979-2322. Now they have a special. For $9,888, they do a complete shower conversion for you. That's $9,888. No maintenance system, a beautiful shower conversion, and they're very proud of it, and they'd love to talk to you about it. And it only takes a day or two to do it, or maybe 3 days, and depending on how much you want done with the rest of the bath. But the shower conversion, just $9,888. 720-979-2322, discountbath.com. Hey, O'Brien Legal Services, real estate attorney. If you need a real estate attorney, I should say you always need one to at least look over documents now and then. If you're going into a closing, owner financing, maybe you want to negotiate a lease, a commercial lease, or you're having a problem with a neighbor over a dispute over the border or over the property line. Whatever it is, they can handle it at O'Brien Legal Services. Brad O'Brien and his team, that's what they do. Anything real estate, including problems with squatters. Seriously. OLSlaw.com. 720-370-7388. How long does it take a house to get to market? Somebody's asking from the spring.
Typically for me, I can get them up in around a good week if we really get diligent. Yeah,
So
it
like
depends.
5 days, you're saying? Monday through Friday?
Depends on photographer availability, but I'd say a good week. Yeah.
Frank, about that?
Technically, you could do it in a day, but that's sloppy. If like Stephanie said, I'd say about 5 days is probably a good rule of thumb. Yeah, I mean, if there was an emergency, I could do it the next day.
Right. But it's not going to look great. You're not going to have great
you're not
photos.
Gonna have nice
you're
photos
not
and
going
all that.
Right.
I would
Frank,
just have to.
does 920-1622 ring to your cell?
It does. Yeah. Yeah. I've had the number forever. That's what we never. I know. We never changed it because we've used that for years. And then now, if I give you my cell,
So if somebody calls Remax Alliance, do they ask for you? I'm not saying that on the air. I'm just curious.
well, they don't. That call doesn't go to Remax Alliance.
No, I know, but what if somebody hears you're with Relax Alliance and calls there? Will they direct it?
Oh yeah, they'll send it back to me. But I do agree that the website is what pops. A lot of people just Google us and pull us up. So
Trauma, depression, or anxiety are affecting your life and family, the Raleigh House is here for you. The dedicated team of professionals at the Raleigh House provides.
But Tom, it's a catch-22. Everybody knows the 1622 number now, and I've had it forever, so that's why I don't get rid of it. So I've kept the landline, just forged to the cell.
I have a desk line that does the same thing.
I know.
Oh, that's a landline, actually?
It is, but it forwards here, so I'll always get the call. But what do you do now? They've known that number for 25, 30 years on me,
You didn't get a call back from that Jimmy by any chance. Do we ever get calls, or you ever get calls back from businesses after?
Oh, I did. Shit, I should give that follow-up. I did. I did.
You did?
Yes, I did. Damn it. I should have talked about it. I got to do that tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I did. Jimmy, right here. An email.
We must have really hit his phone heavy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a good segue for tomorrow's show. Jimmy.
What's the name of the company? STS, right?
Yeah, but it was
STS Transport.
Part of North American.
Well,
family,
no, he said he was. I don't know if he is. He might be.
they're under their umbrella.
Right.
Like Johnson
So
and
that's
Johnson
yeah.
and Johnson is part of.
Today's Gym Day. I hate it.
Today's Gym Day for you.
So get on board here on 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. By the way, STS Transport, we had that story. We did that thing yesterday about moving and storage and how the guy's stuff didn't arrive. I must say, and I'll get into it tomorrow, but Scott Sievers, the owner up there, I wrote to Jimmy, so to speak, but I got a response from Scott saying, we're taking care of this. That's what I want to tell you. And he says, we're going to be running a few days late, but we're going to do it. I will get more into this tomorrow because I don't have time. And but I did want to say I did hear from him. STS Transport we had on yesterday, and we were very upset they weren't talking about the problem. By the way, I also want to talk about our real estate guest today. So Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, and both Stephanie, you'll talk to people whether they want to list or not, just about what they can get for the house, what they'll get on the market. Frank, you do a complete analysis in writing on what they can do.
Most definitely. I visit the property, walk through the property. We even do a Zoom with them. So we talk through the whole process, Tom.
Now, Stephanie, I asked you, how long does it take you to get a house on the market?
To do it and do it well, I would say a good week. And
Okay.
it's really photographer availability and a little bit of prep.
Do you do videos too?
I do.
Okay, Frank, how long? Same thing?
Same thing.
About a
Absolutely.
week?
Yeah. We want to get all the best shots.
And does it cost homeowners anything?
Does it cost
Somebody
them
wants to know. Does it cost to go put a house on the market?
We build it into our price, and we only get paid upon closing. So we work to earn
And
your
you never
business.
ask for reimbursement if anything
No,
ever
we
happens?
don't. Never have, never will.
Steph, same?
Same. My whole goal is to sell the house, so I work to sell it.
Right. Okay, guys, so that's Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. And then Stephanie's website, Stephanie Thomas in the Spring, StephanieRE.com, and 720-260-0918. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget to call 303-MARTINO for help, information, and referrals. Save all your problems for me.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
The end of summer sale from ZeroResDenver.com. The best, safest, and healthiest carpet cleaning ever at the best deal yet. Buy 2-room cleanings and get 2 free. Book by September 1st. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150.
Lenovo. Become a Lenovo Pro member for free at Lenovo.com/Lenovo Pro and unlock new AI experiences with Lenovo's ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors.
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Think Plumbline Services. With quality brands like Carrier and always plumb crazy value. I use Plumbline in my home on a mission of excellence with character and ethics. Clear drains, fix leaks, wiring, and quality Carrier systems. Plumbline Services. From Castle Rock to Fort Collins. Service at home. Servants at heart. 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com. Plumbline and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Every election, they declare it.
This is a big one.
It's the most important, most consequential,
Most important.
The most important election ever.
This decision. We have a choice.
Once in a lifetime.
It's the most important election of your life.
Well, this year, it is.
Believe that.
So check in often for all the important stuff.
Information.
On your most important talk station.
One of the most important elections ever.
Denver's talk station. 630 KHOW.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
630 KHOW Denver. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. An investigation continues into the deadly incident at a Delta maintenance shop at Atlanta's airport.